streaming live on the Messin app. It all starts right now.
And it all starts right now from West Palm Beach. Beautiful evening, east coast of Florida. 2017 when the ballpark of the Palm Beach is open. Hard to believe the Nationals are in their 6th year in their beautiful spring training home. The Cardinals come calling from Jupiter tonight. And a former Nat comes calling back to the booth. Welcome back, Kevin Frantz.
How you doing, my friend?
Buddy.
I'm doing good. Everything good with you?
Championship team of 2014. I don't know. I'll let you know in a couple hours on that one. But let's talk about the Nats, because a lot of questions to be answered. But you sure like what Mike Rizzo did last week, bringing in Nelson Cruz with that huge bat, because Juan Soto and Josh Bell, at times, there would be times they would not get pitched to. Maybe that changes now.
Josh Bell did a great job in backing up Juan Soto last year. You add in Nelson Cruz, there's no worries about that 200-walk season that Juan Soto might have with, not enough protection. You get a lengthy lineup. To me, the addition of Nelson Cruz, you have a switch hitter, a righty, a big lefty. What else can you ask for in the middle of the order? Yeah,
and as well, the influence that Cruz will have on some of the young players. A guy who is the ultimate professional hitter who puts up amazing numbers. So tonight it's the Nats. It's blowing out to left at 18 miles an hour on a 76-degree evening. Yeah, come into the ballpark. We're ready for some spring training baseball. Beautiful scene, isn't it? The green grass, the brown infield dirt of the Nats spring training home. The ballpark of the Palm Beaches. Juan Soto. He is warming up the right fielder, by the way. He's DHing tonight, but look at Juan. He's out there with the glove. He's acting like he at least wants to be part of the defense, and I like that a lot. Well done, Juan Soto. Love that kid.
He didn't warm up today.
Here come the Cardinals. They're hitting .219 this spring. They've hit 3 homers, 10 runs. They've given up 6. Most recognizable guy is Edmundo Sosa, who's done some shortstop work for them. Paul DeYoung has been struggling for the last year or so. Veteran pickup, Corey Dickerson, a lot of different ball clubs, good veteran hitter. Kevin knows him well. We'll talk about him. And a kid named Lars Nootbaar, a center fielder who made some noise at the end of last year. He's a California kid, a former 8th-round draft choice. But the big guns like Arenado and Goldschmidt and Yadier Molina not making the trip down to West Palm. Here's Eric Fetty. Eric's 29 years of age right now. And last year, 29 games, 27 starts, gave up a lot of homers, nearly 2 dozen, and the opponent's batting average was too high at 275.
Yeah, and a little bit of a struggle with his slider, which could be his best pitch, right? Too many balls that leaked out over the plate. He's trying to get back to locating that down. 2-seamer, running it on the hands of the righties. But a big start every start this spring for Eric Fetty to build that confidence. You want to see this built up all the way through. And for me, another good night for him to get that going.
Corey Dickerson, the DH, seeing his first action for St. Louis. The catcher, Riley Adams, and he takes the first pitch outside. We're underway right on time at 6:05. 76 degrees. And the wind blowing out toward left. Eric Fetty career 15-20. 5 years with the Nats. Some good down and in action on the tail end of that pitch.
Yeah, good cutter right there. Likes to use the cutter a lot more up and in to the lefties, slider down. But that one, good cutter down and in on Corey Dickerson, who, that's a great addition to the lineup.
Well, and so many changes to National League lineups this year as far as personnel, with the DH now universal. I mean, it enables them to bring in Dickerson. The Nats bring in Nelson Cruz. Those are unbelievable bats you can add to your lineup when a year ago you couldn't do it. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch up a bit, popped into short left, just onto the outfield grass. That's A-Ray Adrianza. Versatile guy who can play the infield and the outfield, and that's it for the first out.
Yeah, that's a good addition right there with A-Ray. And here's the outfield, left to right. Yadiel Hernandez, Lane Thomas in center field. Hupara is in right field. Adrianza at third base. Lucius Fox in at shortstop. D. Strange Gordon at second base. And Josh Bell over at first behind the plate. Either giving the signs or using the digital thing is Riley Adams.
There's Lars Nootbaar, who takes one up and in.
Did you see that with the Rays the other day?
No, I didn't.
Mike Zunino had the catcher had a little bit of a electronic thing that he was pushing buttons and going into the ear of the pitcher, letting him know what it was.
Well, the job of catching over the next several years is going to be a huge topic of conversation around baseball. Leagues that go to the robotic umpires and the strike zone, does framing go away? It's going to be really interesting to see how the catcher's position defensively changes over the next several years.
It is the one thing that I don't like.
Larry Vanover, by the way, behind the plate there.
Yeah, good guy. Been around for a while. Anyway, I'm not a big proponent of like, well, back in the day. The one thing that doesn't change for me is the art of catching. And the beauty of it. Watching a guy be able to lead a staff, call a game.
Another ball pounded into the ground. Josh Bell on a scoop and a good sign. Couple of soft contact at bats by the Cardinals to start tonight. 2 down, and Nolan Gorman, their second baseman, will be next.
And there's a good slider down and in right there that just out of the zone. Starts in the zone, makes the hitter think, oh, I have a chance, I have a chance. Goes out, gets nothing but soft contact. Great start right so far for Eric Fetty. 2 soft contacts.
Gorman 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts on the spring. First rounder 4 years ago, fastball away. They just keep on coming from that St. Louis minor league system, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, you could answer that more than I could. Great slider.
Wow, that had some serious depth. I mean, they call that a slider.
Yep. Some
by the traditional, by the traditional definition, curveball or maybe slurve in the middle.
I go with Randy Norris slider.
In on the hands, Gorman muscles it out to right center. His first base hit of the spring.
That's the tip of the cap. You're Eric Fetty right there. You locate just off the plate in soft contact as it's going right where Riley Adams is set up. Maybe a little down. Oh well. This ball stays in the yard, but not a bad pitch. Just off the label. Anything to keep him from, leaving the yard, going bridge on him.
This is Juan Yepes, 24-year-old infielder from Caracas, Venezuela. Obtained 4 years ago by the Cardinals in a trade with the Braves. Front door on the breaking ball. Fetty gets that inside edge.
It's kind of nice when you can flip over something like that. First pitch of an at bat.
Gorman with a medium lead at first, and the fastball tails in.
Love that right there. As he backs off, Yepes with the 2-seamer running in, his feet move, get him going. You throw a good first pitch slider, you can go back to that now.
Not reachable.
Or the cutter.
Yeah, good action by Fetty. Live arm tonight, his first appearance.
As you're a hitter, you're looking at that thing and you're seeing it right at the outside part of the plate, and it's a late little cut, little baby cut. Beautiful pitch.
Yep is 1 for 3 with a walk on the spring. Let's have him bunched a bit toward left center. On a pitch away. Out into short right, Wynn knocking it down, but there's a shark out there, and he just cruises to eat that one alive. Yeah, come on in, folks. Nationals baseball on Masson. Off to a good start. You could roll that for a half hour. I'd never look away. Juan Soto DHing in the 3-hole tonight. You see Josh Bell behind him. Steven Matz. Matz know him well from his days with the Mets. He had a breakout season with Toronto, winning 14 games last year. And it got him a 4-year, $44 million free agent contract with St. Louis. They needed a lefty starter. He was great with the Blue Jays. Change of scenery. And D. Strange Gordon almost had himself an extra base hit. This is an intriguing guy at the top of the Nats lineup tonight. Veteran, been around for a long time. He's a base hit collector. He's a .286 career hitter in 10 years with the Dodgers, Miami, and Seattle. At the minor league level, he was with 3 different teams last year. Reds released him. He went to Nashville for the Brewers, Iowa with the Cubs, Indy with the Pirates. Trying to get back to the major leagues and for the first time since only 33 games with the Mariners back in 2000. Got jammed on that one. It's by the mound. Gordon can run, and the throw pulls Juan Yepes off the bag, and the Nats have an infield hit.
Those are beautiful. And as an infielder, you're thinking speed at the plate. Do not hesitate, and if you bobble it, you're done. Right here, Gorman coming in, bobbles it, looks like he flips it from glove to hand, and, well, you can't do that against D. He's kind of fast. That has not left him.
He's 2 for 5 on the spring.
Probably the one thing I was most jealous of, speed. Guys with speed.
It never slumps.
No,
you do have to put the bat on the ball.
The bat will slump, the speed one.
And here's an interesting player as well in his early 30s, A-Ray Adrianza. We had 247 with the Braves. Yeah, a longtime Giant, right?
Yeah.
Signed with the Braves at the Giants at the age of 16 in 2006. Well, tell us what you know. What is he now compared to when they signed him way back
Well, he looks
when?
the same. Maybe a couple pounds heavier, but he's always been the same. He's more confident now, but just I would call him a sweetheart.
Free agent signing by the Nats on, well, just a week ago, March 14th.
Great hands.
0 for 1 with a walk in the spring. Matz gets the inside edge with a heater. We'll get the whole lineup set for you here in a moment. 247, 109 games with the Braves. There he is on Soto.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Riz. Architect.
Matz just kind of a calling card toss over to first. D. Strange Gordon, by the way, some huge base stealing years. 333 steals at the big league level. And the ball foul tipped.
And he was running. He was going all the way back to first, thinking that Matz was going to pick over. But you've seen it for years before Trey got traded over to the Dodgers. I mean, what speed can do at the top of the lineup for you, and what D. Gordon could bring to you, the Nationals lineup, to the organization itself, is that speed that helps everyone else out in the lineup.
Pitch up and a heater, foul tipped. Let's listen to the walk up for Juan Soto here. Here's the lineup. Soto, Bell, Thomas. And then Yadiel, Riley Adams, Gerardo Parra, Lucius Fox at shortstop, batting ninth. About a half hour ago, Luis Garcia was scratched, and Fox, who was going to come in behind Strange Gordon at second base, inserted at short. Juan has an RBI, a walk. He's 1 for 4 in the spring. And that time, Matz tried the flat-footed quick toss over there and almost threw it away. I like your comment from the open, because we don't want to watch this guy walk down the first base 3 times every night. And the addition of Cruz maybe forces teams to pitch to Soto more than they want to.
Adding that presence. If you have a guy on first with Nelson Cruz, the fact that there's a chance that he can go 2-run shot, people don't want to do that. Take your chance with Juan Soto at times. You know there's going to be big moments where they don't pitch to him, but again, that fear.
Only qualifying major league hitter last year with more walks than strikeouts, and that's record 145 walks. He only struck out 93 times.
A little late getting that foot down right there from Juan, but again, it's spring training for everybody.
Timing, huh?
Well, Matz, I mean, he can bring it up. 94, 95.
Follows that up with a breaking ball. about 14 to 15 miles an hour slower.
I think the biggest thing for Juan Soto isn't about, well, are you worried about hitting? Is he swinging at strikes? There's 2 strikes in a row, right, that he swung at. Those are always the things that I feel like for a guy that plays every day that you worry about. Like, what is he doing? If he struggles early on in camp, is he swinging at strikes? Absolutely. Okay, we're good.
Busted bat, runner on the move, and Soto muscles it into center field. Amy Martinez turning some wheels early. Strange Gordon all the way to third, and a corner situation for Josh Bell.
I mean, not a bad pitch as it runs in on his hands, breaks his back. But when you have a lot of confusion out there and you're strong like Juan Soto, guess what you're going to do? You're going to lift it out in center field. It would have been a lot more fun to watch D. Gordon try to, Strange Gordon, excuse me,
we'll
try to score from there. I do want to see a race, though, between the first base coach, Eric Young Jr., and D. Gordon. I swear it would be neck and neck.
Well, here's Josh. Juan Soto was amazing after the All-Star break last year, and Josh Bell was outstanding after his first 23 games when he hit a .123. In the next 121 games, he hit just under .290. 24 of his 27 homers, 78 of his 88 runs batted in. Breaking ball jammed him. Cardinals looking for 2 to end the inning, and they'll get it in pretty easy fashion. So the Nats get base hits from Strange Gordon and Soto. Nats gets the big ground ball, and we're scoreless after 1. Score after 1. Cardinals have a hit. Nats a couple. And our skipper, Davey Martinez, is with us. Happy New Year, sir. Thanks for joining us from that first base dugout.
Oh, you're welcome, man. It's good to be back. Good to have baseball back.
Davey, tell us about camp so far. Anything that you'd like to get across to our fans that's of utmost importance? I know Nelson Cruz edition last week had to be pretty big for your lineup and the way you fill out that card.
Yeah, it's awesome to be able to write his name down as a DH every day. You know, camp is going good. I mean, obviously it's going to be a shorter camp. We're getting a lot of work done. You know, we're actually doing some different things about sending. We got to send a lot of guys down to the minor league camp that's been going on for a while down to get some playing time and get some at bats so they get caught up. So, but you know, the biggest thing about spring training, as we all know, is to stay healthy at the end of this and start out healthy.
Sometimes you get it with the older guys. They like getting a certain amount of at-bats. Is it easy to integrate that with the minor league side like you were saying?
Yeah, we're actually really just running guys back there. When they don't play here, they'll go down and get 4 or 5 at-bats. You know, they won't play the field, but they'll get to run the bases and see a lot more pitches. So, you know, I'd like to see him here, but it's the way that we got to do it right now because they got to get up to that 40, 45 at-bat mark, maybe 50 at-bats.
Eric Fetty against Edmundo Sosa, the St. Louis shortstop. Right in on his hands, up and in. Davey, the addition of Nelson Cruz, I would assume, has an impact on your lineup, but also the clubhouse. Tell us about him, what you've observed from him over the years.
Oh, no, he's, you know, word around the league, and I've known him for a very long time. He's definitely that guy that we want to bring in, that understands, you know, the culture that I try to bring, and he's right with the program. So he's an unbelievable student of the game, and yet he's a teacher at the same time. So we thought that he could help some of our youngsters with his knowledge, and so far he's been awesome. You know, he has great conversations with our guys. He's very in tune, not only with our batters, but with our pitchers, too. I mean, he talks to our pitchers a lot about what he's seeing, you know, what their approach is, and it's been great.
Foul tip on a cutter up and away for Eric Fetty's first strikeout.
You know, I think Riz and yourself talked about, you know, making this Juan Soto's. It's his clubhouse, and adding a guy there that you can bounce ideas off of and not have to feel the full pressure of it. How big is that? I mean, we always talk about leadership. You can't coach, you can't teach it. It's natural, right? And one thing that Nelson is a leader. Absolutely,
and you're right about that. You cannot teach leadership. It comes from within, and Nelson's a good one, and I'm glad that he's here to teach Juan the same thing. You know, Juan teaches differently. he's a guy that teaches by example. You know, he goes out there, he loves the game of baseball. I can remember first conversation I had with him, and I said, what is it about the game that, you know, that, and he says, I love to play baseball. And in this day and age, that's all he ever says. He says he loves the game of baseball, he loves to play it.
Davey, I don't know if you saw this or not. We caught it with our cameras. I don't think I've ever seen a DH, and that's a nice swing by Brendan Donovan. Your DH is out beyond your dugout, warming up Gerardo Parra in right field to start the top of the first inning. He's not going to sit there and take the night off, is he? That's leadership right there.
No, hey, so every day I watch him, he takes ground balls at first base. He goes out in the outfield and takes fly balls. I mean, you know, but he's a professional, you know, and he understands what his routine is, and he does it every day. He actually even told me, he said, hey, if you need me to play first base one day, I'm good for it. And I just said to him, man, I just need you to hit every day.
we got a shot of him. He's sitting next to Anibal Sanchez, and I just want to know, having him back around and just what he brings to the table. And actually yesterday, the adrenaline rush that he had, I mean, ball's coming out hot.
Yeah, he's coming out real good. And before we signed him, we saw him on video, and he's finally getting that extension back, you know, that he had when we saw him with the Braves. So it's good to see. I mean, you know, he was ecstatic to go out there yesterday and pitch and go, you know, and compete again. And you know, he's a lot of fun, as we all know. He's a lot of fun. He's a guy that keeps that culture rolling in our clubhouse, and it's good to have him back.
Breaking ball, getting away from Riley Adams. Davey, what's the latest on Steven Strasburg?
Oh, he's working. He's working hard to get back. You know, so far he's done well. You know, I don't want to put any timetable on him. We just want him back, and we want him healthy so that when he does come back, he's able to go out there every 5 days and help us win games.
That one ruled a wild pitch. Runner at second, one out. Ali Sanchez, the catcher. And the breaking ball from Eric Fetty, low and away. You've got some young catchers in camp, Davey. It's really a different situation than you've ever had before. Riley behind the plate. We're going to have a chat with Keibert Ruiz later this evening. How about these young guys after having guys like Alex Avila, Yan Gomes, and Kurt Suzuki around for a while?
Yeah, it's a different group, but these guys, I'll tell you, these guys work hard. Henry's got them, man, every day at 7 o'clock in the morning, working on blocking balls, doing different drills, communicating with them. You know, they watch a lot of video together. They talk quite a bit about different pitches and how to handle pitchers, and it's been great. And we saw a little bit of both of them last year. They learned a lot last year, and they came to spring training hungry and ready to go. So I'm looking forward to having these guys, you know, all year long, and letting them go out there and play and watch how they do.
Left fielder Alec Burleson is next. Davey, have we left anything out? Everything good now? We want to let you go so you can get back to work. Anything else that we haven't touched on?
Oh, hey, you know what? You guys are good, man. Hey, I appreciate talking to you guys, as you know, always. Feel free to talk to me anytime.
I'm in.
We appreciate that, sir. Davey,
Thanks,
all the
Davey.
best. Hey, give the coaches our best, because you and your staff, I mean, these guys put in hours in spring training that are unbelievable. So tell all those guys hi for us.
Hey, speaking of hours, we've been here since 9 o'clock this morning, so the days are long, but like I said, we know what we got to do. We want to try to accomplish some things before opening day, so but we're having fun doing it.
Well, you don't have to do that many pinch hitters or double switches anymore. Maybe that'll speed things up for you.
Maybe not.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Davey.
Davey Martinez.
I didn't play a lot when I was younger.
Say the bases got loaded up in a hurry after that hit to left.
Yeah. That was a good piece of hitting by Donovan, too.
And, of course, no pitcher spot. Now, usually in spring training, the pitchers weren't hitting anyway until about the last week or so. So here's Connor Capel, a right fielder. Trade pickup 3 years ago from the Cleveland Ball Club. 24-year-old outfielder from Katy, Texas in the Houston area. 0 for 2 on the spring. And Eric Fetty in some hot water got the first guy, Sosa, on the strikeout. And there's a quality strike to the outside edge.
Again, though, missing spots. I mean, biggest part for Eric Fetty in the first inning is Sliders down on the spot, right down and in on the off the plate, maybe a little bit. Cutters off the hands of guys, and then so far it's been spraying in this inning. Get back to loading up the strike zone.
Yeah, as soon as the first guy got on base, control lost a little bit, but there's a double play ball. Well done. Strange Gordon to Fox to Bell, and a 4-6-3 ending the St. Louis top of the second. 2 stranded, they've left 3. No score. Some good D early in this one.
Very cool announcement for us.
Yeah, June 17th and 18th, we are going to honor Mr. National, Ryan Zimmerman, and have a special giveaway on the 17th. And 18th, we're going to retire his number in front of hopefully a big crowd to honor him. And we're really excited about it. He deserves it, and we're honored to be able to do it.
You guys have been planning this, I'd imagine, since the moment that he retired, and June 17th and 18th will be a special weekend.
It's been, in my mind, I've been planning it for a couple of years because I didn't know when he was going to make the announcement. But yeah, we're working with our crew in the Nationals and Ryan and Heather to work out all the details, and should be a very special weekend. And that Saturday game is just going to be awesome.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, you can't have a Ryan Zimmerman day. You have to have a Ryan Zimmerman weekend.
Yeah, I'm in.
I love that.
I'm in. Guy just makes you smile no matter what. So honoring a guy that a lot of the league would honor the same way, I feel like.
Lane Thomas, a former Cardinal. We're going to shift for him to the left side. Sosa throws him out. We didn't know it at the time. The last day of the season would indeed be Ryan Zimmerman's last day. Kyle Schwarber, the former Nat, was there with the Red Sox. Ryan hugging Josh Bell, who came out to replace him at first. That's Ryan looking over to the Boston dugout. I thought that was very classy by the Red Sox. They were in a pennant race. They came out, honored Ryan Zimmerman, as we all did. And not too many times have we gotten emotional on the air, but that was a gut-wrenching moment. And I thought he was coming back, too.
Yeah, me too.
If I'd have known he wasn't, we would have really been a mess up here.
Well, the number retirement thing, you're going, okay, you knew it was going to happen. That question, it should have been, you've been playing that since he hit the first home run here, or the first walk-off home run on, opening night here.
08. Steven Matz, first inning, 13 pitches, 9 strikes. Yadiel Hernandez, what a storybook he wrote last year. Got a chance to play for the first time ever. 112 games, 264 at-bats. He hit .273. I honestly don't remember his 3 stolen bases. But he hit 9 homers and drove in 32, and the doctor's about to make a house call in the top of the 3rd, it appears. Got his old number 63 back on.
He got 63 back, but Hannibal got 34 instead of 19 back.
Yeah.
I guess he tried. They wanted him to fight Josh Bell. That wasn't going to happen for 19.
I'm not fighting Josh Bell for anything.
He could have fought me for it. He would have won.
Sean Doolittle. Ooh. I got to give the Nats social media folks credit for the best tweet ever. The Nationals have announced a 1-year deal with Aaron Dolan's husband.
That's phenomenal.
Best ever.
That is really good.
Breaking ball hanging a bit, but Yadiel couldn't get to it. And Steven Matz has his 2nd strikeout.
Here's a little bit of a breaking ball that just set up middle of the plate. And it's not go to corners, not do anything. Just throw something that spins up there, get a little depth on it. And if you're Yadiel, you see it up in the zone, you're thinking, oh, this is going to be a hanger, and it breaks the last side.
There's Riley Adams, best known for the game-winning 2-run homer at Atlanta last August 7th against Will Smith and the Braves.
He's large.
He's a big young man, 6'4", 246. Nats got him for Brad Hand at the trading deadline. He had 28 at-bats for Toronto, only 3 hits over 12 games. Nats got him, called him up August 3rd against the Phillies, went on to hit .268. The fastball by Matz.
Yeah, and that's the big difference for Matz. When he went over to Toronto, he was able to start locating in with that fastball, the two-seamer that he throws. And when he does that, it opens up that changeup on the outside part of the plate.
That's got a loud sound to it. In the air out to right. Battling the Sunfield out there is Connor Capel. And the Nationals go 1, 2, 3. Is there a doctor about to make a call? 0-2-0 St. Louis, 0-2-0 Washington. Beautiful scenery just to the east of West Palm Beach and the ballpark of the Palm Beaches. There's Kyle Finnegan. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing fantastic. Wish we were there with you, but we're up in D.C. where, by the way, it's warm enough to play a spring training game tonight. Kyle, last year you pitched in 68 ball games at the major league level. It was almost triple the number of games you pitched in 2020 when you really made a name for yourself at the big league level. How did that workload affect you as you got into the latter part of the season?
Yeah, it was definitely you know, a higher workload than I was used to, but I felt good for a large part of the season and was able to pitch well into September there, and I'm excited to take that workload and build on it this year and you know, try and finish strong as the year winds down.
When you look at your season, you always go home. The off season, you have a little bit more time to think, and then the lockout happens. How'd you go through it? How did you navigate your way through the lockout as far as workouts, and was it normal for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I didn't quite end the season the way I would have liked to there at the end. So that kind of fueled the fire into the early off season. So I was really getting after my workouts and feeling really good, feeling really strong. And, you know, then as the lockout progressed, just kind of go more into like a week-by-week process and kind of see how that's progressing and maybe back off a live BP, maybe throw a bullpen instead, and just kind of, you know, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. It's kind of that balance of being ready to go while also not doing too much. I got my water guy, Juan.
Hey, Kyle,
here.
Juan does it all. We know that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Kyle, before we start talking about him, we want your impressions of Sean Doolittle, what you've seen of him so far as he makes his return to the Nationals after his heroics of 3 years ago.
Yeah, I'm watching him right now. He looks great. He looks strong. He looks ready to go. I got to watch his live BP, and he was, you know, the ball's coming out great. He's got that insane life on his fastball. So here's my seeds too from Juan. No, he's doing great. We're excited to have him back. He was a pleasure to share a bullpen with in 20, and we're excited to watch him do his thing this year.
Sean Doolittle, 45 games with the Reds last year, 11 with Seattle down the stretch. A couple of saves in the World Series back in 2019. Kyle Finnegan is with us. And that one got in on the hands of Corey Dickerson, drifting to the corner. Yadiel Hernandez, and he ran out of room. It's very cozy down there. So, Kyle, you've kind of established yourself now as a big league reliever and a very important part of our bullpen. What are the most important things for you to get done during this shortened spring training, getting ready for your third big league season?
I think, you know, strike one is huge for me. So I'm really trying to work on attack hitters and get ahead early. That's kind of been something that's made me successful to this point. So just build on that. You know, the statistics are incredible when you're ahead in the count versus behind. So, you know, that's my main focus is getting my command, you know, in tune and getting ahead as many guys as I can. And you know, once you're ahead, you can do a lot of different things to get hitters out because, you know, as we know, these are some good players, some really good hitters, so you want to be ahead in the count.
Well, yeah, I mean, Davey's been talking about that, and I'm sure Jim Hickey has as well, because obviously he's a pitching coach, but strike one, filling up the zone, that has been a huge part of camp so far. As a whole, how do you think you guys have done, when it, you know, whether it's been on the backfield or not?
No, I think we've been doing well. I mean, Hickey and Davey, you know, set the tone early. You know, I struggled commanding the strike zone yesterday, but I was happy with the way I felt, and you know, it's something to build off of. But I think as a group, we've been doing a great job of attacking hitters. I think maybe 2 games ago we only walked 1 guy, so when you do that, you know, you're going to put yourself in a position to be successful. So we're taking it one day at a time, and you know, our main focus is attack the zone and get ahead.
Will Harris got a chance to throw over the weekend. What does his veteran presence mean for you guys as he comes back to the bullpen?
I mean, he's a true pro. He's, you know, World Series champion. He's been there, done that, you name it. He's been a stable of great bullpens for a large part of his career. So just watching him, you know, his mentality and the way he goes about his work, you know, he understands that, you know, you're going to have a bad outing here and there, but you know, it balances out over the course of the season. You're going to go on a run where you're dominant, and then you're going to hit your roadblocks, but you got to keep that same process and you know, just get after it one day at a time. And you know, he's been huge for me, just watching him, the way he goes about his business, and just kind of soaking up any knowledge I can learn from him has been great.
And of course, Steve Cishek comes over and joins the Nats bullpen now. Kyle, I know how you're going to answer this, because you're going to want to pitch whenever Davey wants you to, whatever inning it is. But would you like some late game opportunities, because we've seen what you can do when you've had some of those chances?
Yeah, I mean, getting a taste of the 9th inning last year was a blast, and you know, if I'm there this year, that's great. If not, you know, whoever takes it will do their job. But yeah, there's something special about the 9th inning, and it's really fun to be the guy that gets to shake hands there at the end of the game, and you know, it's a really special feeling. So if it's me, that's great. But you know, we have more than enough guys to take care of that job this year.
Hey, Kyle, thanks for your time. We wish you great success this year, and have a great rest of spring training. We'll see you back here in D.C. in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, guys. Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks.
Cal Finnegan.
Good stuff.
Talking, still young in his career, while a guy who's well into his career, Sean Doolittle, just popped up Lars Nootbaar. He gets Nolan Gorman here, and he will pull it to the right side. Strange Gordon took a minute to get a handle on it, and safe is the call at first. Nats will get the lead runner on the 4-6 fielder's choice. 2 outs here in the 3rd.
Can't get 2 if you can't get the first one. And right there, D. Strange Gordon kind of gets the in-between hop, eats him up a little bit, but he takes his, what I like is he makes sure. Gets it, fires it right over to Lucius Fox, right belt high, maybe a little bit higher, gets it. But for me, securing the baseball, huge right there for the National second baseman.
Yeah, good job by Fox of making it close at first. And next up is the big cleanup guy, the first baseman, Juan Yepes, who flied out to Gerardo Parra, ending the first inning. Shark will be leading off, by the way, in the bottom of the 3rd. Fastball from Sean down low, and he checked his landing spot after he threw that pitch.
These are always fun to watch for a veteran reliever, right? Early in the, what is he trying to work on right now? And it's like getting everything in line, throwing strikes, maybe work on a couple things later on in camp. That's when you see him dial it in a little bit more.
Left center, ball's going to carry in the wind out there tonight, and Lane Thomas takes charge to handle that one. Not a problem. Sean Doolittle pitches around the leadoff walk. Parra, Fox, Strange Gordon straight ahead. Franzen's couple of years as a Phillies broadcaster. Cheesesteaks in West Palm tonight.
Yeah.
How do those look compared to up in Philly?
Yeah, not the same.
Okay.
You gotta taste the bread. That's all it's about.
Got it. Single game tickets to all Nats home games on sale now. Show some Natitude. Get your tickets at nationals.com/tickets, and you'll be as happy as all 3 of them. Fun at the old ballpark.
You think that was staged?
Sometimes just rolling down a berm in spring training is the most fun thing you can possibly do. They're seating for 1,000 fans, they estimate, on the berm here. 6,500 fixed seats. Oh, by the way, they're playing a familiar song, aren't they?
Yeah, I've listened to that a lot of late with my son. So
that's Genesis Cabrera. Cardinals picked him up in a trade with Tampa Bay a couple of years ago. Strong arm out of their bullpen. And we get a lefty-lefty here with Gerardo Parra, who has a double, a walk. He's 1 for 2 in spring training so far.
Yeah, you're going to get a live fastball. That one's 94 right there, but he'll average out at 97 with the four-seam fastball, sinker. Not your easy matchup for a lefty-lefty right here. Curveball and a changeup to go with it.
Good take on a pitch up. Gerardo, 21 games at AAA Rochester last year. 72 ABs, made it back to the Nats on June 20th. Immediately had a game-winning walk-off double.
Of course he did.
Went on to hit 237. 53 games. But another guy whose meaning to the ball club is not measured strictly in batting average and numbers. Interesting, you know, Gerardo's still around. Anibal is back. Sean Doolittle's back. A whole lot of hardware has come back to the Nats.
And it's not
clubhouse.
for celebration reasons, right? I mean, because they are winning players. You want that around your young guys.
Yeah.
Love to say good baseball player. And for me, you look at Parra and you're going, that's a good baseball player. Just everything he does. Quality at bats, the outfield arm.
Look out. Fastball up and in, and then kind of boxing at it. Sanchez trying to keep the umpire from getting injured on that one.
And I think he was thinking it was a cross-up number one, but he might have thought there was going to be strike three, and he was running back there that maybe Parra would be running, but he wasn't.
That's Carl Edwards Jr. for the Nats.
No, that's a strike. If you catch it.
Then he spins another one, and Parra is frozen.
I mean, it's lefty-lefty, when you're going to get a curveball that starts right at you, guy throws 94, 95, and that's what you're going to see is it coming up at your top shoulder, at your right shoulder. You see him buckle. You get two in a row like that. That's a pretty good curveball.
Who has the Nats' only home run this spring so far? He's in the batter's box. Switch hitting infielder Lucius Fox, who's 24. Originally signed by the Giants on his 18th birthday 6 years ago.
That was a pretty good birthday.
Never made it to the major leagues with San Francisco. Nats picked him up on waivers from the Orioles last November after Baltimore had claimed him from Kansas City 11 days before that. Played at 3 levels for the Royals last year, hit 242.
He was traded for Evan Longoria.
How about that?
Rays.
He played for the Storm Chasers last year, the Omaha AAA ball club, and hit 242 there, stole 19 bases. The guy can fly, 142 minor league steals. And over the weekend, he hit the Nationals' lone homer of the spring.
Pick the click today.
Watch out, back foot.
You get that late start. I mean, because Luis Garcia was supposed to be playing shortstop today. Late scratch. You don't know if you're Lucius Fox, what's going on. You're going to be backing up later on. Second base, probably. No, you're starting at short. Okay. Those are the you don't think much during the game.
Yeah. Hey, you're in big league camp. That's all that matters, right?
Absolutely.
He's from the Bahamas. Whoa,
maybe not.
Nowhere to go.
Oh, that was kneecap.
That is not a good sound. Anytime, anywhere. Previous pitch was around his back foot. Paul Lassard out.
Yeah, those are the ones that make you want to puke. As a hitter. On the outside part of your leg, goes a little numb. There's a chance that he's going to do everything possible to stay in the game, but wow.
He's going to stay. This one over in
and he look,
helmet.
He gets his foot up, right, to get his stride in his load. And when he gets that foot down, he gets his foot down early enough, and that's how hard it's coming in at him at 96, 97 from Cabrera. Cabrera had a big hit by pitch last year, if you recall, in St. Louis against Bryce Harper, right in the face.
Here's Gordon, who bumped one by the pitcher first time, beat it out, went to third on a Soto base hit. when D was running, stranded there on the Josh Bell double play ball. So D is 2 for 5.
Yeah, Cabrera's not really good at holding runners right here, and maybe if you're Lucius Fox, it might be hurting, but the best way to keep that thing loose is to start to run. He might be holding still there.
Andrew Gordon, a couple of good takes on breaking balls here. Did something 6 years ago, 7 years ago now, you never hear of anymore. He had 200 hits, 205 for the Marlins. Hit 333 and won the batting title.
Trey was the only one last year, right? I believe in the big leagues to have 200 hits.
It's just not done anymore.
That used to be such a pride thing. Like Michael Young for years with the Rangers, it was just no matter what, 200. Ichiro, 200 hits. Feather in the cap.
Got a fastball and pulls it through. Stopping at second base, Lucius Fox. D. Strange Gordon turning on one. And the Nats have 2 on for Adrianza. And of course, Juan Soto will step out on deck.
Oh, here's D getting a fastball right down the middle of the plate. Drop the head on it. And if you're going to miss, if you have the speed of D. Gordon, where's your miss going to be on the ground? And the best thing about that, scoots right through. He's not.
Adrianza struck out swinging the first time. So he gets a lefty again. Steven Matz the first time for this switch hitter.
He's got more power from the left side as a switch hitter. Adrianza does. Last year had 4 against righties and 1 against the lefty. But not a lot of at-bats. Only 52 of them.
Runners both on the move. Throw to third in time. And on the front end, Lucius Fox is out. 2-5 on the caught stealing.
Yeah, Trey only had 195 last year, so no one got 200.
Close.
We're gonna go close-ish. That's what you're gonna get for 200, but right there, decent jump from Lucius Fox, but a better throw. Great job by the third baseman on that one. And Donovan blocking that back part of the base, sliding right into it. It's not cheating, but it's one where if you know a guy's going to slide head first, guess what? Just drop that knee down, block the base. They'll hurt their hand, not their spike into your leg.
Adrianza, the hitter. Oh, and he gets a piece of that one out to left. Is the wind helping it? It's over the head of Burleson. Coming around easily to score is D. Strange Gordon. And A-Ray Adrianza has his first Nationals RBI. 1-0 Washington.
It looked like a decent pitch right there from Cabrera, and A-Ray gets his hands inside that ball and fires that thing out towards left field, a little higher instead of a line drive out of here, but a little short, compact swing by him. D. Gordon going on the pitch, or on the swing, because of the 2 outs.
Here's Juan Soto. Josh Bell on deck. There's Adrianza's first hit as a Nat as well in 3 at-bats, and a big hook from Genesis Cabrera.
First game on Mass and for everybody, and I mean, Juan's already got a knock. He should homer right here. What do you think? Do it for the people.
Breaking ball smothered by Sanchez. Ballpark of the Palm Beaches opened in 2017, the $149 million home of the Nationals and the Astros. Great to be bringing you spring training baseball here on Masson. We'll be with you next Monday night. Actually, Monday afternoon. Then Soto right off the end of the bat to the backstop.
Big cut right there. Guys, that didn't chip his bat at all.
I'll never forget the day back in 17 when we opened up the ballpark. Michael A. Taylor hit a walk-off homer for the Nats. But 5 minutes before they opened the gates, Nationals employees were painting, putting away ladders, securing door frames, door knobs, everything they could do to get the ballpark open. It was unbelievable how quickly they got the facility ready after we departed Vieira the year before, and it's hard to believe this is the Nationals' 6th year in West Palm Beach. On a pitch up, Soto waiting for that breaking ball because it was hit like that on a pitch up high. Easy chopper for Yepes, but hits by Strange Gordon and Adrianza. That's a spring training smile, first RBI. 1-4-0 Nats, 0-2-0 Cardinals. Top of the 4th inning, 5-6-7 for St. Louis. And Carl Edwards Jr. will make his 2nd appearance of the spring. Roughed up a bit first time out, couple of hits, 3 earned runs in 1 inning, including a homer. He's a 30-year-old veteran from Newberry, South Carolina. And the Nats are looking for some depth in the bullpen. Signed him as a free agent on the 8th of March.
It's good added depth. Can't have enough, especially the experienced type with Carl Edwards Jr. Came up as a Cub, right? I believe.
You are correct, back in 2015. Fastball away, slapped that way by Sosa. Hara got a read on it and then drifted to it for an easy first down.
Now batting, number 33, Brandon.
K-Bear Ruiz is with us.
Hello guys.
K-Bear, welcome.
Thank you
for joining us from the first base dugout. This is Bob and Kevin up in D.C. And we will see you soon, but you get a little night off tonight. But how's camp going for you so far? Because at this time last year, you were in Arizona with the Dodgers.
Yeah. Thank you for the interview. Yeah, I like it. I really like it here in Florida. It's closer to home, and it's going good, you know. Getting to know all the guys, the new faces like the pitchers, and we're trying to get in the same page so we can be easier during the season. But happy to be back, you know, happy to get to work again and hopefully getting ready soon for the season.
You were a busy man last year. You were at AAA for the Dodgers in Oklahoma City, traded, then off to Rochester before you came up to the Nats. I got to ask you about something you did at the end of the season. You did not strike out in your last 37 plate appearances, and you struck out only once in your last 75 plate appearances. That is unbelievable for a young player at the major league level. Did that give you a real good feeling coming into the offseason, knowing that you were not overmatched by major league pitching?
Yeah, it gave me a little bit of confidence, you know, like I know I can put the ball in play. I just gotta get my pitch and be focused on every at bat, so I can and not worry about the results. I know if I can control the little thing, the result is gonna be there.
Hey, what's the difference for you in it? You come over in a trade trying to learn guys right away, as far as the pitchers, to a spring training, learning the staff. How much different is it for you this year?
Yeah, it's a little bit different, you know, but I think it helps me to do that job. Like I gotta talk to the coaches and the pitchers, and I think it's good for me to grow up that relationship with all the guys, and I'm looking forward to do that all the time.
Fastball, pretty good one by Carl Edwards Jr., ripped off to the side. So we were talking to Davey about this K-Bear, you're in camp with Riley Adams. The Nats had a couple of veteran guys, Alex Avila and Jan Gomes at this time a year ago. So for the Nationals camp, it's really different and really interesting to have you guys there at the start of your big league careers. What kind of a relationship do you and Riley have? And is it a friendly sort of rivalry to see who ends up getting the playing time here?
Yeah. I really like Riley Adams. He's a really nice guy. We always talking each other, like, and talking about all the pictures, like what you see from this guy, you know. I think as a young catcher, that's gonna help us to like grow up as a catcher. We need that relationship with everybody, and yeah, man, we gotta keep going, keep working, keep learning. We got Henry Blanco here. We got a couple of veteran guys, Parra, Aníbal Sanchez now. I think that's gonna help us a lot.
Real quick answer for this one. I know you like catching, but do you like to hit better?
Oh, yeah, I like to hit. I like to hit too, but catching is very important too. We gotta win, you know, and that's a big part.
Hey, K-Bear, congratulations, 284 for the Nats last year. We really appreciate your time. Have a great spring training. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
K-Bear Ruiz, he'll be 24 years of age on the 20th of July. Came to the Nats with Josiah Gray, outfielder Donovan Casey, who's in camp, right-handed pitcher Gerardo Carrillo, who's in camp. And that, of course, was a mega deal with the Dodgers, and hopefully the Nats will have some dividends from that deal for many, many years to come. And well, I can't wait to see how the rest of his career is
Oh my gosh.
go.
I saw him back in 2016-17. He was in Rancho Cucamonga in A-ball, and he raked.
Back to the pitcher, by the pitcher, but playing up the middle. Short throw, and it bounces over the glove of Josh Bell. They'll have to give an error because the runner ended up at third. We'll see if they give the hitter a base hit or not. Looked like the ball would have been there in plenty of time to get him.
Yeah, but the problem here is Lucius Fox going up the middle on the second base side, instead of trying to get his feet around, tries to throw it across his body, going towards right field. And not knowing maybe the runner's speed on this whole thing, I think plays a part of it. But if he sets his feet, kind of gets around a little bit, might be able to get a better, stronger throw off. But the changeups that are thrown over to first base, as a first baseman, it is hard to be patient to get the right hop. You can't say it's everything's so easy, but it came out of his hand, and Josh, you could see, is trying to be patient, and it just hops over his glove.
Yeah, error all the way. The Nats third of the spring.
That's going to be something, as we saw in spring training 2.0 of the season. Defense wasn't as strong.
That one by the pitcher, another one up the middle, but Fox able to get behind it, and he hits a bullet over to Josh Bell. So a walk and an error. Carl Edwards Jr. gets a scoreless inning, and Bell is straight ahead. Join the Nationals fan club. Early access for you for pre-sales, exclusive offers, and the latest Nats news. Visit nationals.com/fan club to sign up. Josh Bell says it's free. Masson Crew Synergy. Promo, he leads off. Lane Thomas, Yadiel Hernandez to follow.
It's like they knew that it was going to happen.
Yep, and it looks like a veteran lefty coming on, 32-year-old T.J. McFarland for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Did that 19 look that small on my back?
It looked huge on your back.
Yeah, it did.
Gosh, but you know what? We got your back.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Josh, 6'4" double play ball first time. So he gets a couple of right-handed ABs. Steven Matz, his opponent, first time around. Josh led the Nats in extra base hits with 52 last year. That'll happen when they walk Juan Soto a lot, because in most seasons Juan Soto will probably have 80 or 90 extra base hits.
Well, how about that first 23 games that you were talking about?
Hitting a $123. 31%
strikeout rate. That last 121, it was 106 starts that were involved in that. 15% strikeout rate. 12% walk. I mean, you're talking to cut it in half is middle of the season is crazy.
Josh Bell's OPS after that rough start was 888. It's pretty good. His on-base percentage skyrocketed as well. Hitting .287, on-base percentage was .375. Little late action got in on the hands, and Sosa throws out the hustling Bell.
Second changeup and slider from McFarland. Right-hander's going to see a lot of sinkers, changeups, occasional slider, but for the most part, he's going to try to fool you with the off-speed. Tunnel it off with that two-seamer, but again, I couldn't imagine being a switch hitter in camp, and especially in a shortened camp, trying to get your timing.
Yeah.
It is always fascinated to watch switch hitters during spring training because you're going, it's already hard enough to hit one side. You're trying to lock it in on both.
Yeah. That ball ripped by Thomas, a clean single to left. Lane Thomas himself was great down the stretch. He had a 50% hard hit rate in September and October, 17 multi-hit games, and he was 9th in the National League in extra base hits after the 15th of August.
Yeah, and you can see right there the balance that he has in his swing. Nothing moving forward, not trying to cheat on fastball. Gets his foot down, balance position. Slider's a little bit up. I mean, that a little bit up, a little in. Not crazy, not a bad pitch, truly a bad pitch.
Yeah, and he can absolutely fly. One of the fastest outfielders in baseball. Check swing by Yadiel for a strike. He struck out swinging first time. And Thomas over there with Eric Young Jr.
Yeah, seniors in Atlanta.
Yeah, senior's not going to be racing some of the guys, but junior might be, huh? So EY can still move it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sure. He hasn't gotten to the size of Dad yet. I wonder who was faster.
Looked like McFarland took a little bit off, and Yadiel eyeballed it well. There's Eric Young Jr. Gary DiSarcina, the new Nats third base coach, some years with the Mets.
Yeah, it looks better, way better in red than he does in that other color.
That guy was a good ball player for the Angels, man. Saw him play a lot back in the 80s. That ball hanging up for Burleson. 2 down.
I would just say, like, I mean, not only when you associate the Angels, you think Tim Salmon and Darren Erstad, Devon White,
like that. Yeah,
he's one of them too.
Yeah, he is.
It's so he has a great name, Gary DiSarcina. It's like, oh yeah, he played for the Angels. It's like perfect. Good experience over there at third base, and especially for infielders, just anybody. The knowledge that he has.
Yeah,
young coach over at he's Obi-Wan for EY over there at first base.
Tim Bogard, the bench coach. New hitting coach, Darnell Coles. Pat Ressler stays around. He's Darnell's assistant. We saw Jim Hickey. Henry Blanco is also the strategy coach as well as handling the catchers. Ricky Bonas in the pen. Nats have a veteran guy, Jose Aguasil, who played in the big leagues as an infield coach, and Coco Crisp, outfield base running coach. Coco Cavelli Crisp.
Talk about a good player. Coco Crisp.
He could fly, man.
Jose Aguasil, a infield coach for myself, long time in the minor leagues and big leagues with the Giants, and great human being.
Riley Adams fly ball to right first time.
No, if for Riley, you think about the situation we were talking about, with Cabert earlier, and in that inner rivalry. That's good. You want that inner competition. You want guys to push each other.
Sure.
And if you're Riley, you don't want people to think, oh, Ruiz is just the catcher. He's here. He's going to be the guy. You want to show. And so many times you think about guys trying to do too much when they get into camp. This is one of those guys. Be you. Don't do anything else. I mean, because the ball comes off his bat so hot. He'll find a way.
Yeah, you heard some chirping, and the runner was going. Safe call was made. It's got Greg Gibson out there at second base. Brock Ballou and Ron Culpa are also on the umpiring crew tonight. We mentioned Larry Vanover started the game behind the plate.
That was a good jump right there by Lane Thomas. Ali Sanchez behind the plate. Fires, gets off a good throw right here. Tails a little bit into the runner. And if Gorman holds on to it, he's out. But that's the one that I feel like catchers have been doing a lot more of, is throwing into the runner at second base. Yeah. It's unbelievable how some of those guys control it.
Yeah, a throw now that tails off the bag is a much better weapon than one that's right on the bag, as opposed to a century and a half of baseball.
I was about to say that. It's like it blows your mind. You're going, don't throw it to the bag. Just throw something that has a little bit of run on it. We're good.
Now, usually on the east coast of Florida, shark sightings are not celebrated. But it's a different story at the ballpark of the Palm Beaches.
Yeah.
Gerardo frozen on a filthy Genesis Cabrera curveball. That was a front door variety first time. So I'm not surprised he swung. He's like, if I see a fastball, man, I'm cutting it loose. I don't want any more of that stuff.
I think it was just, if I see the ball out of his hand, I'm swinging no matter what.
Nats bullpen busy. Looks like Francisco Perez might be next in line. Parra jammed and fouls it off.
The other thing too is a veteran hitter. Even though you're going up against a veteran pitcher right there, guy walks right in front of you. You're thinking to yourself, he wants to load. He doesn't want to walk another guy. He doesn't want to fall behind. He's going to challenge me, and he did. He guessed right, just didn't execute.
Ouch. Double ouch. I tell you, as long as I sit in this chair and put on this headset,
yep,
I will not forever forget the grand slam he hit at Dodger Stadium back in 19.
That was on a couch. I won't forget that either.
The Nats were in the midst of a horrific road trip. He got the ball club a chance to salvage 2 out of 4 at Dodger Stadium. They came home soon thereafter, caught on fire, never did cool off until they were dousing each other with champagne and beer in Houston.
Was that one of his first days too, as well as a?
Yeah, it was. Nats had been swept at Milwaukee with a rough travel scenario. Milwaukee, Philadelphia rather, before that. It was just a horrible week, and he rescued the whole thing.
How about everything being ingrained on that World Series ring of yours? He'll always be a part of that. It's amazing with the Shark.
Yeah. 1-2. Thomas at second, Adams at first. Long look by McFarland. Quite a take by Gerardo Parra. T.J. McFarland was heading for the third base dugout.
I don't know if Larry Vanover missed that one, or he actually didn't miss it. He just didn't call it a strike.
Early in spring training for umpires too.
Yeah. T.J. McFarland was hoping veteran status would help out.
Check swing. You know, they talk about pitchers having dead arm after a couple little spring training. So I always wondered if umpires ever had a dead eye period when they have a hard time calling balls and strikes.
Yep.
Before they're primed for opening day.
Some guys that are a little older at times, maybe. But, I mean, think about it, too. They have to adjust to lighting, right? I mean, this is the first time probably for Larry Vanover being under the lights and understanding and looking at a pitch.
Parra takes it the other way, and that's a fair ball. Thomas comes around to score. Riley Adams will stop at third, and Gerardo Parra, after striking out on a nasty pitch looking, takes what the opposing pitcher gives him after a borderline call and puts the Nats on top by 2.
Nothing better than just grinding away and doing a thing. Get a little slider on the outside part of the plate, punch it that way. I mean, there's no intent of actually getting a hit. Maybe just kind of foul this ball off. And when it goes past him, you can see Parra smile all the way from home plate to second base.
All the way to D.C. He has 2 hits this spring, and they're both doubles. He just knows how to play. Yep. Little wink to the shortstop, yeah. Here's Lucius Fox, who was hit by a pitch. Glad he's okay. And he gets around that one and hooks it down to Donovan. And that's it for the Nats in the bottom of the 4th, but they double their fun. Thomas, a base hit and a steal, a walk by Riley Adams, and the Shark delivers an RBI.
We've been working on it for a couple years with Nike. We're very excited about it. Can't give out the details quite yet, but on the 29th we'll go live with it and get the fans' reactions. I think they're going to love it, and I think it's really awesome, and it's a lot of input from a lot of people, but it's special. I don't think it's something they're expecting for Washington, D.C. It's something a little bit different. The colors are a little bit different. But I wish I could give you more details, but I just can't. Lips are sealed.
VIP, privileged information, and that's all we can get. Mark, thank you.
Okay, my pleasure.
Yeah, nice investigative reporting, Dan. Teasing us. Can't wait to find out. That'll be a lot of fun.
What are
Nats
your
on
thoughts?
top, 2-0 now.
Where are you going with it? Where are you going with that color?
Yeah. I mean, red, white, and blue. What else is there? This is a left-hander, 24 years of age, from Dominican Republic, Francisco Perez, who last year for the Indians appeared in just 4 ball games, spanning 6 2/3 innings.
Yeah, real live arm that you're going to see from Perez.
Nats picked him up on waivers from the Indians on November 5. One inning so far. He had a clean first inning as a Nat over the weekend.
When did it switch to Guardians where you say that you're now a Guardian? Was it the day after the World Series?
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah. I mean,
because he didn't play for the Guardians.
When the Nats picked him up, he was an Indian.
Yeah.
Corey Dickerson, pop up to third and a walk. Pulls this one. And the ball made a right turn, thankfully, just before it got to the bag. I think Josh Bell knew it was foul. That ball had all kind of English on it.
Yeah, it did, but you could see what happens when you settle to your feet and they get flat-footed. You just don't want to always play umpire. I'm just going to say that. As this ball goes down the foul line, and he knew it was foul, you could tell, but again, with some of these guys, that's in front of them, you cannot replay it. Just assume that it's a fair ball until you hear that foul ball called.
Fastball up, big hopper, looks like a hit. Yeah, no contest at first base. Corey Dickerson getting down the line well, smelling a base hit.
He did the same thing as Gerardo Parra right there. 2 strikes, just put the ball in play, shift as Lucius Fox was up the middle, 3 or 4 steps. But here's what the difference. We talked about the arm that he has. As he was going to right field trying to throw across his body for that error. Now you see him when he sets his foot. That thing comes out hot right there. No chance at it.
It's a knock all the way. Lars Nootbaar, the hitter. Grounder to first, pop up to short. Jackson Clough was supposed to back up Garcia at short. He'll probably come into the game at some point. Maybe Lucius will end up shuffling over to back up D at second base. That was what he was originally slated for tonight. These spring training games start changing dramatically after about 5 innings, so we'll try to stay on top of everything for you.
Yeah, line change. You've done all the sports, right?
Pretty much.
You done hockey?
Yeah, minor league hockey.
How impossible is that?
Played amateur hockey. I played amateur hockey and have some stitches across the bottom of my chin to show for that.
Why wouldn't you?
I didn't come right back into the game, though.
No.
Like the big boys do.
Oh, not losing the teeth, have dental surgery, and then go back out? No.
No. If I lose my teeth, it'll be because of my diet. Gerardo Parra picks it up as Newt Parra. You're going to hear some Newts in the background. Cardinal fans traveling down from Jupiter. So they have back-to-back hits for the first time this year. Tonight, rather. And it's 2 on for their talented young second baseman, Nolan Gorman.
He's put some good swings on the ball tonight so far.
Yep, base hit to right and a grounder on a 4-6 fielder's choice.
But you get well-located fastballs, lefty-lefty on the outside part of the plate. Where Riley Adams was set up right there. You're going to have success, but you get something that rides a little bit up, a little bit out over the plate, lefty-lefty matchup. They will hammer you.
Nice late break and drop on that hook.
And the other thing, too, that Francisco Perez does very well is he has that little hesitation that he shows the back of his numbers just a little bit. And I'm sure it hides it against those lefties that much more. And again, well located, you're going to see a lot of ugly swings.
Yeah, straight over the top. You don't see that a lot anymore. Late break on that one upstairs.
2 nasty ones that he's thrown to Gorman. It's coming out of his hand, hides it well, stays up in the zone. A good swing by Gorman, but again, late breaking. 81 off that 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Gorman, they're trying to move over to second base. I mean, he's been their top prospect. He's been a third baseman, but they got Nolan Arenado.
Nobody's playing third there for a while.
Nope.
Oh, had him very uncertain. Then he slams his bat down and breaks the bat as it hits the ground. It just seemed like that bat might have had a hairline fracture
I was going to say
before he did that.
Or that's the nastiest clay that you have in that batter's box on the other side. But 3 perfect sliders in this sequence right here, and
he must have caught it just right on home plate.
Yep, that's a sword.
Ouch.
Literally.
Juan Yepes is next. Big first out. No movement, of course, by the runners. Yepes a fly to right, 1 to center. I want to say a special word to an amazing Nats fan who's watching in North Carolina tonight. Ann Hellig is waging a very courageous battle against cancer. She was resting when I left her a message earlier before we got on the air tonight, but I want to thank Terry B. and a lot of the folks on Twitter who want everybody to know that Ann loves the Nationals. She loves life. She's fighting for every day of it that she can, and we just want you to keep Ann Hellig in your thoughts and your prayers tonight. An amazing Nationals fan, tuned in every day from North Carolina.
I heard you leave that message. You're a man of the people.
Sweet, sweet lady.
That's awesome.
She texted me back and it made me cry. 2 on, 1 out. I tell you, this guy's got some stuff. Nothing ends up where it begins out of the left hand of Francisco Perez. Hey, there's opportunity in this camp, Kevin.
Absolutely. 11 pitches, 8 strikes. And again, part of the the mantra from Davey Martinez, Jim Hickey all spring is, since they've been there for now over a week now, throw strikes, load it up.
That one seemed to cross up Riley Adams a bit. Got a piece of it, couldn't keep it close enough, and both runners move up.
I don't know if it crossed him up or he just assumed that it was going to be. Yep, it crossed him up.
Yeah, that was not a breaking ball flip of the glove, was it?
Well, I mean, the other part of it is that we're not seeing a lot of the
get in the dirt from catchers around the league.
They're going to call it a pass ball. Second and third, one out. Nats 2-run lead in jeopardy. Long pause here. Surprised the hitter hasn't asked for time, and now he does.
Got a bunch formation on the left side with Adrianza and Fox. Usually you get the shortstop to move over towards the hole. Third baseman will move towards the line, but right now they got that 6-hole covered up. This right here is the alignment that you would see next year with the banning of the shift.
Almost threw that one away, and quite a pick by Riley Adams.
That's the only thing you could do right there with a fastball. I mean, rarely are you going to see a guy be able to get in the dirt, block it right there. Just got to pick and hope.
Saw our graphic there a moment ago. Next Monday afternoon, the Marlins will be down from Jupiter to take on the Nats. I don't know how you timed that pitch. It was just hanging up there, but he was not ready for such a velocity.
We see a lot of that, right? We call it the cement mixer. And you see it up in the zone. You're thinking, oh, man, I'm going to crush this. But you assume that you see the dot. You're seeing slider spin. You're going, it's going to be down. I'm going to set there. And it stays up, and you get the swing like Yepez right there. If you could repeat it every time, I mean, it's the greatest pitch ever.
A little higher with that one.
I'm interested to see, when the shift goes away and you have to have two guys each side of the base. I wonder what teams are going to end up doing. Maybe you're going to have the strongest shortstop out there that when you're going to get a full, pull hitter, you might move him over to second base. Second baseman might go all the way on the other side. You're going to see a lot of different formations going on there.
3-2 pitch, and really not a competitive couple of pitches to end that at bat. Pretty easy takes for Yepez, and now more of a veteran guy in there, Edmundo Sosa, with the bases loaded.
Yeah, not giving in right there. And I just feel like you see the confidence spiking a fastball in the dirt. The only thing that he's really thrown for a strike has been that slider. Sometimes you got to get back, step off real quick. Back underneath to find the catcher's mitt of Riley Adams right here with a fastball.
There's the heater.
Perfect.
Well, one ground ball.
Absolutely.
From being out of the inning. And you had two double plays, one by each team tonight.
You see that downward action that he has straight over the top like you were describing earlier. It has that look that it's going to continue to go straight down. Well, guess what? As a hitter, you're thinking the same thing. And if you swing at that, that's ground ball. That's double play right away.
Well, you throw the fastball for the strike and makes them a little more uncertain on your secondary pitch.
Now, I mean, there's a couple of things that are going to be, I feel like they're off the table, is slider in the dirt, unless you completely trust Riley Adams right here with a runner at third base. You do have a 2-run lead. If that plays a part of it, really not in spring training, but.
Oh my, fastball up and it's ripped into the corner. And this will at least tie the game. Yepez to third. They're going to send him Took a long time for Yadiel to dig it out of the corner, and the bases are cleared by Edmundo Sosa to put St. Louis on top.
Yeah, that's something that can't happen. 0-2 count with the bases loaded and 1 out. If you're going to throw fastball, it's got to be in a spot where he has either no chance to swing and hit it, or he has no chance at all, and he's just going to take it for a ball. This one, they're trying to go outer third, and you just see him yank it a little bit over the middle of the plate, but Sosa staying on it. And that, I feel like, if you're Sosa, because you know slider down, you're not going to have any chance. You're looking slider up, spin up. Well, he gets the fastball up. He's able to stay on it, keep it fair.
Brendan Donovan now.
But Bob, one good thing about that, ball got away from the catcher Riley Adams right there, but who was back deep part of the the foul territory right there, and that was Francisco Perez. Didn't feel sorry for himself, got to the right spot.
Nasty breaking ball, maybe the best one he's thrown so far. That's nasty.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a limb and say that he's probably gonna continue to throw that slider again, even to a right-hander. But he followed that ugly-looking swing the pitch before. Same spot, same nastiness.
Single, pass ball, strikeout, walk, double, strikeout. Crazy top of the 5th here. And the 7th Cardinal at bat will be their catcher, Ali Sanchez. Couple of walks by the right-handed batter. Get ahead fastball.
Oh, is it going to be the same sequence that he had against Sosa? He went fastball, first pitch, strike. Goes slider. Does he get ahead? I mean, the biggest thing that I've seen so far from Perez is that he's getting ahead of hitters. Now it's being consistent throughout and throwing that slider for a strike or what looks like a strike.
Oh, called strike on that one. Hitter buckled a little bit before the call and after the call. 0-2 again.
Yeah, I don't know what Ali Sanchez he is complaining about as he turns back to Larry Vanover. That was a beautiful slider. All over the plate. Start on the outside, outer third, and ends up inner third. Letters to knees. He had it all taken care of right there.
Now that's the 0-2 pitch you want instead of that fastball that was sitting up for the double.
And you wonder, a part of that is runner at third base. Do you trust? Do you trust Riley Adams behind there if you throw slider in the dirt to keep it there? Maybe that played a part of it, but they went fastball, and this one, good slider, good spot.
Two. Third out. A long time coming. that breaking ball sitting up a bit.
Yeah, it was sitting up a little bit, but Sanchez took that swing, and it looked like he was thinking the ball was going to go to left field. He was a little tardy on it. Again, you think that it's going to be down. It stays up. Always the easiest one to hit. I think you'll locate arm side right here. As far as the fastball, try to get it down in the zone, away. Soft contact, ugly swing right here coming.
Late for the heater.
Up though. Right down in the zone right there from Francisco Perez. You're going to get something that's a little off. You just moved his hands and feet with that slider before. But you keep it up. The hitter's eyes are already looking up against a guy like Perez because they're looking for that slider. They're trying to figure it out right there. Get it down by the knees, you have a chance. I have not seen in the sequence back-to-back fastballs that are well located. That right there, I mean, it's one and the other. That's a part about being a young pitcher, right? And trying to show yourself in spring training is you're going to overthrow at times. You might press a little bit.
Here comes pitch number 30 of the inning. Up and in with the slide piece. Second walk of the frame.
Might be it. 30 pitches. Yeah, that's going to be it.
Well, managers like their guys to pitch complete innings in spring training. Although with the DH, doesn't make much difference as far as the lineup and all that when you make a pitching change. But the Nats will bring in Erasmo Ramirez to try to clean up this fifth inning and get the guys back to the top of the order in the bottom of the fifth. Davey Martinez gets it in so many ways. How about sending Darren Baker out yesterday with the lineup card, taking on his dad's Houston Astros?
Amazing moment.
Darren's the reason that bat boys and bat girls have to be at least 14 years old now to step onto a big league field. But what a great move by Davey. Maybe caught Dad off guard a little bit there. And then later in the game, Darren lines one to center for a sac fly to get the Nats the eventual winning run. You can't script it better than that.
No, and they had a copy of the lineup card that he got signed, I believe, towards Darren.
That's pretty cool.
Davey played for Dusty.
Yeah, they get it.
Yes, they do.
Second appearance of the spring for 31-year-old Erasmo Ramirez from Rivas, Nicaragua. Big league time with the Mariners, the Rays, back to Seattle, Boston, the Mets, and the Tigers last year.
Yeah, cutter, sinker, changeup, four-seamer, random curveballs that he'll throw in there, but anywhere from 91 to 93 with the fastball, but you're going to see a lot of cutters. Tries to get that cutter in on the righty or in on the lefties and then throw the changeup off of it.
Ball laced out to center by Alec Burleson. Tracking it, Lane Thomas. Yeah, let him hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. That's D. Strange Gordon. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Has a run. Soto will bat third straight ahead. 1,500 Nats fans helped raise almost $200,000 to support the community impact work of Washington National's philanthropies. This year's 5K race virtual again, so you can participate from anywhere. That's a race I could even run in. Scan the QR code on your screen. Register right now at natsforgood.org. $200,000. Thank you to our 1,500 Nats fans for doing that. Twilight time. Look out, fly balls could be an adventure in West Palm for the next few minutes. We go bottom 5, top of the order for the Nats. And this is right-hander Cody Whitley from Clayton, North Carolina. Cardinals 27th rounder 5 years ago out of the University of Mount Olive. And in 2 years at the big league level, 29 ball games spanning 30 innings.
Four-seam fastball, changeup and slider. 94 miles an hour, the average on the fastball. Changeup and slider actually are the same at 84 on the average.
By the way, D. Strange Gordon is a Florida guy from Avon Park. Basketball star. Didn't play baseball until his senior year at Avon Park High. Went to a NAIA school, Southern Florida U, before he went on to Seminole Community College. And of course, we know all about his dad, Tom Flash Gordon, with the amazing curveball.
Yeah. How about this? I faced him twice the big leagues, back-to-back nights, ended the game in Philadelphia, 06 against him. Didn't touch a ball. Faced him a couple years later in AAA. And I check swung on an 0-2 pitch and ran down with my arms up, celebrating the fact that I touched the ball against him. Yeah. It's amazing. His stuff was nasty.
Yeah, he was a great athlete. Passed that along, didn't he?
Yeah. Nick and D.
D made his only All-Star team that year we talked about when he had 205 hits for the 15 Marlins.
He's got a Mount Olive
58
mascot.
stolen bases that year, by the way.
How's your college mascots?
Do I know the Mount Olive mascot?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking? I do not. That's one team I never did in basketball was Mount Olive. What is it?
Trojan.
Huh?
A Trojan.
Trojan, nice. Yeah, well,
I'm usually into that, but that one was way off the radar.
Try topping my mascot from my university.
Where?
University of Missouri, Kansas City.
Oh, the ribs.
Ooh, that would be a good one.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, the Gates barbecue ribs. That would be really good. No, we were the Fighting Kangaroos, man.
Wow. I mean,
they call them the Roos for short.
The St. Peter's Peacocks, that's pretty intimidating. That's going on in the Sweet 16.
How about that? Isn't that a great story out of Jersey City?
You went to a community college in Scottsdale Community College, where they're fighting artichokes.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
The outcome right there, or the mascot?
The mascot.
Okay.
He got his hacks. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Next up is A-Ray Adrianza. And then Juan Soto.
The beauty of the DH, too, just you bring up Juan Soto. The fact that when healthy, because everything has to do with health, Juan Soto is always going to be in there. The stars are going to always be there. And I am so excited not to see a pitcher hit anymore.
You know, I've been a National League fan all my life.
Same here. Same here. The last couple of years been ugly.
But when Max Scherzer goes 0 for 50 something like he did last year, it might be time to shut the whole thing down, and they did.
Well,
I mean, Max couldn't even get a hit last year.
15 spring training when he came over. That guy spent an hour in the cage every day.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to watch, just the work. I don't think he was doing that as much.
He was probably in Dave Roberts' ears a few times last year trying to get in as a pinch hitter.
He was in Dave Roberts' ear to keep him in the game.
Yeah. Now Buck Showalter gets him in New York.
I think he's a Buck type of guy. What do you think?
I'm just looking at this division and going, oh my.
Yeah, it's
the way
going to be
the
fun.
Mets have loaded up. Now the Phillies have added Schwarber and Castellanos.
Marlins have all that. All the
bless
arms.
you, Mike. The Braves are the Braves, even though they lost Freddie Freeman.
They got a really good first baseman in exchange in Matt Olson.
A guy who's probably going to hit more homers and drive in more runs than Freddie Freeman did.
And scarily is better at first base than Freddie.
Yeah, and the Marlins, they've got some great young pitching.
Oh. And Jorge Soler.
Slow roller right side, Adrianza. And that one shoveled by Nolan Gorman for the out. Juan Soto will bat with the bases empty. It's a one-run game. Cut it loose, Juan. Mike's probably fighting an allergy or two like a lot of us are this time of the year. By the way, our eyes and ears at the ballpark, along with Dan Coco, who joins us in the next half inning.
Oh,
is our friend Paul Newman down there, who's usually our stage manager.
The actor?
When we go, and he didn't make a salad dressing either. But Paul Newman is our eyes and ears. He tells us the humidity in West Palm is down to 55% today.
Oh,
it's downright dry down there. But Paul's helping us out. He's our eyes and ears in the press box down there. As we make no secret about it, we're broadcasting from Nationals Park right now, where it's an absolutely beautiful night in D.C. You were in the moment thinking you were in West Palm.
Yeah, no, I was surrounded by everything here.
We thought about bringing in some blow-up palm trees and a few other things. I forgot my sunblock for D.C.
You should have brought it, though. It is nice. It was so nice today.
Beautiful.
Cherry blossom season, huh?
Gorgeous. It's coming. Soto first time, base it up the middle, fought off a pitch right on his hands. Next time on a big curveball, he chopped one into the dirt. That was a high hopper down to Yepes at first. Juan probably disappointed, didn't get to chat with Yadier Molina behind the plate tonight, but he gets Ali Sanchez. Juan loves chatting with catchers.
Okay, longest conversations, though, that he would have.
JT Realmuto.
Oh, it was amazing. Like, they were best friends, I swear. The conversation started from the on-deck circle all the way through an entire at-bat.
Oh, Soto got a fastball right down the middle. Just a little under, a little bit late. He knows he got a pitch with which to work there.
He wanted to shoot that all the way over the Astros offices right there in left field.
Yeah. Just love everything about his game. Ooh.
When Jason Stark wrote last year about him and the comparisons of numbers age-wise to Ted Williams, you're like, there's no chance.
Crazy.
And then you read all of them, you're like, this is no joke.
It's all true.
It is all true.
Oh, he threw him another one.
Now
Juan couldn't get over the top of that one.
We're seeing a lot of late swings on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Cody Whitley, from whether it was D. Strange Gordon to Adrianza. Soto right here, I mean, he's gotten a couple.
I want to go ooh on the replays.
Yeah, he is special.
Oh, this is good spring training stuff, though, because, Kevin, you know this. You did it. You're looking to get in there, get some rips, and get your timing, and you love an at-bat like this.
Yeah, see, my rips were a little different than his. A little lighter.
Well, he'll be aggressive, but Juan also lets the game come to him, and he seldom gives an at-bat away, and he didn't do it right there either.
What's impressive about Juan is, like, just more or less me being from afar, right? The last couple of years of watching this. 2018, before he's in the big leagues, Nats were in San Francisco. I'm on the field with Mike Rizzo talking, asking him about Juan Soto, because I'm like, why is this kid like 900 in A-ball? He goes, Granny, this is the best hitter I've ever seen in my life. In 2018, before he's in the big leagues. I'm like, seriously? And he goes, we're trying to teach our minor leaguers to have his two-strike approach, let alone it's impossible to do because he doesn't lose any power with two strikes, but he spreads out, chokes up, does all that. Just a special talent.
You know what he hit that year?
900.
373 at Hagerstown. Then he went to High A Potomac and hit 371. And then he made it to Double A Harrisburg and hit 323.
Oh, he sucks then.
And then
the 50-point drop.
Then the Nats called it, you know, they were crying uncle at three different levels, and the Nats called him up May 20th, and the rest was history.
And didn't have his first official home run until that was how it went. It was
he got his first one after he hit a couple others. Because of the suspended game against the Yankees. Yeah. I mean, the Nats video crew and I did a scorebook feature on that a couple years ago, and I still have a hard time figuring it out every time I go back and look at it.
How's that go down on the ball?
He hit his first big league homer when he was in the minor leagues, basically. Look at that changeup. Great one by Whitley.
Look, you just know he's special then. Like that's all you needed to know.
Yeah.
How do you know that Juan Soto is that good? Well, he already had a homer in the in the big leagues while he's in the minor leagues.
Wow. Yeah.
What?
And only Ronald Acuna Jr. beat him out for the Rookie of the Year. And he didn't come up until May 20th.
The talent, how about the insane young talent? Not only around the game, but in the division and just the little rivalries that are going to happen, I'm sure, between them.
Another changeup. So deceptive, Josh lost his bat. Juan Soto, when he came up in 18, was 19 years, 206 days.
Fastball, fastball, fastball. Oh, no, it's a changeup.
Yeah. Bryce Harper was 10 days younger when he came up in 12. Pardon me, when Bryce first came up. Was that 12?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, baby. He threw him 3 changeups in a row. And look what Josh Bell did to the third one. Juan Soto coming around. He's being waved by DiSarcina. And this game is tied. And don't forget the 2-out walk to get on base by Juan Soto.
The 2-out walk, and this one right here, 3 changeups in a row. I understand completely why Cody Whitley did it, but this one stays up, and if you stay long through the zone like Josh Bell right here, you see it kind of crunch over, stays long through it, hammers it through, and then Juan puts his head down, and he's like, I'm going to score.
He had to stretch it a little for the second base bag.
Yep.
Quickly around third base.
Well, at least he gets to check that box, right? Score from first. Okay, that his spring training is over right there.
Good swing by Josh Bell. His first RBI, the second RBI on his second hit. And here's Lane Thomas, who singled, stole a base, and scored his last time. Good stuff by the middle of the order. And wait till those two guys are sitting there with Nelson Cruz hitting 4th or 5th.
Yeah, they'll be intimidated by the well-manicured eyebrows of Nelson Cruz. They're amazing.
That guy.
He had a ball, I think it was 05 spring training at Scottsdale Stadium. That was might have been 700 feet. That is no joke. Over center field wall, it's 430, 50-foot batter's eye.
Huh.
And I will, obviously, I've never forgotten it. Things haven't changed. He still hits towering homers.
And Juan Soto keeps walking, and it leads to a 2-out rally. Thomas trying to put the Nats back on top. He ID'd the slider.
It's a great take right there. Quiet feet, right out of the hand. It looks like, you know, from our vantage point behind the pitcher seeing it, you're like, oh, not bad. And just, yeah, not where I wanted it. That was a good sign.
Fastball right down the middle on 2-1.
Not a good sign.
Thomas was not drafted by St. Louis, originally by the Blue Jays. Broke in with the Cardinals in 19. Hit his first big league homer against the Mets that April.
You know, he and his sister have a cabinet business, right?
Cabinet?
Yep.
He's from Knoxville, Tennessee. Good take on a fastball just outside.
She's the brains of the operation. I have talked to him about it.
Well, he hits like he did last year. He'll provide plenty of capital for that business to grow.
Yeah, that's good.
And he was going to sign with the Volunteers. It's a letter of intent, but Toronto drafted him. And a lively fastball by Whitley, but Juan Soto gets a 2-out walk. Josh Bell sees 3 off-speed pitches, and the third one drives in the third run.
Do not stop! Do not stop! Take composure! That went down the wrong pipe. There is no wrong pipe! Kevin, come here. Kevin, let me get you real quick. Kevin Franson. Let me get you real quick.
I have never seen two guys milk a video for as long as you two have. Goodness gracious. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Bob. Hey, Franny.
Hi, buddy. You look like a man now. You got a beard and everything.
Yeah, you and me both.
By the way, this is Jordan Walker pinch hitting before we get to the highlight of the night. A live visit with Dan Coco. How's things going down there, buddy?
It's going great. Been down here for a few days now and just getting the feel for camp, some new faces, catching up with old faces, and enjoying the weather.
I have 2 questions. Number 1, how's your shoulder?
Thank you. That's very kind of you. Shoulder's doing great. Getting ready to get cleared to play some golf in a week. So Bob, you'll see me out on the range with you.
Prove it. And number 2 is, when you've been around enough spring trainings now that the older guys, they rarely play early on, to see that in action already, right? And see them playing back-to-back days early on. What's that vibe around there like with that happening?
Well, you're seeing it with this Nationals team. It's interesting. The Astros yesterday were the home team. The Nats played the Astros here at Ballpark of the Palm Beaches, and Dusty Baker didn't have any of his regulars in the lineup. Cardinals today, not that many. So teams are kind of handling it different across the board. But Davey Martinez is putting a lot of his regular guys in there. And you see a guy like Josh Bell that's a switch hitter. You know, he probably needs twice as many at-bats as a guy that only hits from one side of the plate. So you got to make sure you got your timing. And Franny, I don't know how many ABs you felt like you needed in spring to get ready. Ryan Zimmerman would always joke that all he really needed was 30 or 40, and he was locked in and good to go. But some of these guys need a lot more than that, and you got to jam it in there in this condensed spring.
See, Zim's a joke because he'll say, like, oh, I hated spring training. Because he raked from the beginning. He was never stressing. Like, it took about, I needed at least 100. I was good there. I mean, you know, I went 0 for 32 my last spring training with the Nats, but that's good.
Yeah, that won't stick with you for the rest of your life.
More.
Definitely won't.
Ever. Oh, always. But it's funny when you say that because Zim, I always laugh because you would see it when you're in Arizona, when you go to Florida and you see, oh, Ryan Zimmerman hitting 500. Another 2 or 3 homers today. Here you go.
And now he's sitting at home on his couch trying to wrangle 4 kids together.
Guaranteed he's not sitting.
I'm just enjoying sitting back and listening to you guys do a Manning cast on the spring training game tonight. This is great.
Is he Eli? Am I Peyton? Do I get to, I don't know if my forehead's bigger than Peyton.
No, I think you're both Peyton. I don't think either of you are Eli.
Oh, Eli was classic.
That was good stuff. That was fun. Lars Nootbaar, 4th at bat of the night. Slider by Erasmo Ramirez.
So, Bob, the floor is yours. What would you like to say?
I would like to say that I cannot wait to see Juan Soto, Josh Bell, and Nelson Cruz hitting back-to-back to back.
Yeah, I'll join the club on that.
Cannot wait.
I got to tell you guys, I've watched Nelson Cruz take BP. I've watched him in a game or two. This guy's swing, I mean, we've all seen it over the years, but he's played primarily in the AL. We haven't really gotten to study the way that he approaches hitting. It's so quiet. It's so smooth, and he demolishes the baseball. During BP on the backfields today, he hit multiple baseballs onto the roof of the batting cages. The ball just flies off of his bat, but it's with such a non-violent swing that it's
always
really
under
impressive.
control.
Yeah.
Well, he's one of those guys that uses the natural color looking bat, or two-tone bat, right? And through the zone, you're going, you could see it like with the lighting. It's perfect every time, all the way long through it. And it's like that in the daytime. You get mesmerized by it.
And the ball goes a long, long way.
It goes far.
Wow, what a great fastball. Outer half. Just what the Nats needed after a rough 5th inning, couple of strikeouts. Dan, are you done, or are you with us for another half inning?
I'll hang with you, boys.
Earn it.
Okay.
After first at bat strikeout, Adrianza, he comes up in this second at bat against Genesis Cabrera, gets an RBI double in the left field, and that starts it off for the Nats. Raul Parra with an excuse me down the line double for another RBI. That's number 2, and then last inning, Josh Bell dropped the head on 3 consecutive changeups, leaves one up. Cody Whitley did, and Juan Soto scoring from first. That's how your Nationals have gotten up their 3 runs in a tie ball game right now with the Cardinals headed to the 6th. Bottom of the 6th.
I was hoping the floss had gone away, but evidently not.
That's in my bag.
First pitch, left side. Oh, and I know who that was. Andrew Young, who came in to pinch hit right there.
Yeah, it was.
For Yadiel Hernandez.
Dave, you told me a half inning ago, line change was coming.
Yep. All hands on deck. Here you go.
And Coco with us live from West Palm Beach.
Did you whistle him through? Like, change him up.
Yeah, I know my role down here. I'm trying. I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, you got to have Davey give us straight up switches. He's got.
Do you remember when I almost killed you, Dan?
He's got Jake Knoll hitting here.
With a line drive foul ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Carter Capps, remember him?
I do.
And he was like jumping at you with 102, and I was a little late on it. I just remember you had to change your pants after, so.
All right.
Be careful. Be careful.
Out to center. Ball's got some carry from Jake Knoll, who's a guy that seems to do big things in spring training. Remember a couple of years ago, Jake hit 320 in 19, made the opening day roster. That team was so loaded he couldn't stick at the major league level, but this kid never gets cheated with the bat.
No, and he goes down and gets a little changeup down in the zone and stays long through it. Dan, is it, from our perspective, it looks like it's blowing out. Is it not blowing out? Because I feel like a couple balls have gone in the air going, oh, that's way out of here.
Yeah, it's absolutely not blowing out. It's blowing in, and from right to left, Davey just looked at me and said it's like playing in Yellowstone right now.
I wonder what that's like. You watch that show?
This is veteran catcher Chris Herman, guy who's been in the major leagues with Minnesota, Arizona, Seattle, and Oakland. Nats signed him as a free agent March 14th. A lot of catching depth in camp. And this is Gerardo Parra's lineup spot.
Dan, you've been around a lot of these teams where you've seen, like, up close and personal, the leadership skills. And we will talk about it all the time now with Nelson Cruz because he is a leader. He's a natural leader. What have you seen so far from that?
First of all, he's just a really fun guy to be around. He's incredibly warm and welcoming, and I think he is a leader. I mean, he's played this game a long, long time. Guys look up to him. He and Juan are both Dominican, and Nelson told me earlier today that he's really proud to see guys come from the Dominican and have success up here. But Davey made, I think, a good point earlier in camp. I think it's easy for us to think that veteran Latin guys need to just be leaders for young Latin guys, or veteran American players are just leaders for young American players. He said Nelson Cruz can be a leader for a guy like Carter Kieboom and some of the others. So I think that those leadership skills go across the board, right? And Nelson brings that, and
100%.
Guys like Sean Doolittle and Anibal Sanchez. It's very important to have veteran presences like that in when you have a roster that also has a lot of young guys that are fighting for roster spots.
Juan Uribe, you remember him, right? I mean, he was that perfect example. His English was not great, but the way he carried himself and did it, everyone just followed.
Yeah, and everywhere he went, they basically won a championship.
Yeah.
Good job of waiting on that ball. Ripped over to the right side. And that's it.
We got to keep
Nats.
Dan on. We got to keep him on. Let's go, Dan. Let's keep this thing rolling on.
I got nothing to do.
Yeah, no oyster bar. On the berm at Ballpark of the Palm Beaches. Great way to watch a spring training game. Got the blankets out for the evening. Sean Doolittle pitched an inning with a walk. No hits, no runs a little earlier tonight. And a few moments ago, Sean talking about what's going on with him in spring training right now.
Yeah, it's for sure a different feeling. It's definitely like the next step forward in the progression of preparing for a season. Like the energy is a little higher. It's a little bit more intense. You do start to get a little bit of some adrenaline going. So like for me, it was a little bit of an adjustment, making that move from the backfield to the game field. Like the first batter, my energy, I was going a little quick. And kind of got like a little inconsistent in my timing and stuff, but I was happy with how I managed it and how I settled in after that, and overall, really pleased with it.
So great to see Sean back in the bullpen, back on the mound, wearing number 63.
I know he's beloved by Nats fans, but he starts out in Oakland, and he was beloved by the Oakland fans as well. You think if two fan bases really like you, you're a good person, pretty good at pitching. Sean is.
Nolan Gorman, the hitter for St. Louis. And Austin Voth is on the hill. At times, absolutely brilliant last year. At other times, scuffling. A guy who's got such a live arm. Just kind of waiting for the breakthrough consistency for him.
Well, didn't it happen a little bit in Philly last year when he was dominating in a game? And I believe it was the game that the netting went down, right?
Oh, yeah.
He got hit.
And the fastball well up.
Four-seam fastball, curveball, cutter, and split from Austin Vove.
Hey, Dan, you've probably had as much clubhouse and on-the-field interaction as any of us have had with Sean Doolittle. What does he bring to the table for you and for this club? There's Gorman with a good swing the other way.
Yeah.
That's his second knock of the night.
Yeah, lay out for the action and then provide the rambling commentary. I'll do that for you, Bob. Sean Doolittle,
Professional broadcaster. We've taught you well.
There you go. Well, Sean Doolittle has made it clear that he's not here just to go down memory lane with Nationals fans. He's here to keep pitching and pitching effectively. So I think, he would like us to first talk about what he's done on the mound and hopes to continue to do on the mound. And Nats fans know him from pitching the 9th inning for a handful of seasons in D.C. and then sometimes in the 8th inning in the 2019 postseason run. Who knows what type of a role he serves for the Nats out of their bullpen this year. They need effective left-handers, so maybe he's coming into games in a big spot in the 6th or the 7th. Maybe he is closing a game in certain situations. We've got to see how all that plays out. But, I mean, you're getting a top-notch person. You're getting a great leader, a guy who not just leads with his words, but leads with his actions. And guys gravitate towards him. And if you're talking about, a bunch of inexperienced guys that are battling for roster spots in a bullpen, you want them to be able to pick the brain of a guy like Sean Doolittle, no doubt about it.
Well, how much of it for him was getting comfortable, coming back to the Nationals? Right? We've seen guys move on, and the grass is not always greener with the way things can go, right? And for his situation, it kind of wasn't in the cards to come back, but it is now. Like, is that a part of it, being comfortable knowing that, like, I'm good with myself here. I know I could dominate here.
Well, Franny, I think some of it, too, is, the clubhouse looks so different now than when he left, even at the end of 2020. Yep. It was only, 1 full season ago, but there's a lot of faces that are gone. There's a lot of new guys, and so I think Sean kind of stepped in the very early days of spring and was kind of telling himself that he needs to reacclimate himself here. And you're a guy that bounced around in your career. I'm sure you understand that. You don't
Thanks a lot for.
You played in a lot of places that really wanted you, Kevin Franzen.
Thank you.
We'll frame it that way.
Appreciate you. Yeah, not always performance-based. There you go.
But you gotta earn, some level of standing every time you move into a new clubhouse, even if it's a place that you've played before, right?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, no doubt with that. But when it comes to Sean, at the level that he's been at, right, for pretty much his entire career, to come back and be like, it's almost to reassert, like, show, like, this is like what you were saying. I don't want to just come here. It's not like, for the Nationals fan. No, it's not. You know it. He wants to reassert himself as a dominant piece in a pen. Like, not just anything. Do it where you're comfortable.
Well, Austin Voth all over the place with a couple of pitches here. That's a ball 4, second consecutive wild pitch. Let's flash back. Sean Doolittle, love the way he raised the right elbow, looking into hitters. NLCS, adios, Marcell Ozuna and the Cardinals. They swept them, and then, of course, on to the World Series and a couple of saves against the Astros.
I'd say a pretty good postseason pitcher.
Decent.
Anderson Tejeda is the hitter for St. Louis. It's spelled Tejeda, but it's pronounced Tejeda.
Bob,
honestly,
all
the
over it.
DNA part with the I could never have told you that. Way off.
Dan, I was hooked on phonics when I did 2 World Cups, and I'm right back to it here in spring training.
There you go.
I just love the new kids who come up to the game from all over the world, different parts of the Latin world, and we get to just pronounce some beautiful names on the air. There's a fastball down low. Right now, the one thing Davey Martinez would like to hear is strike 1. That's the sound that's sweetest to his ear. 2 on, nobody out. Runners at first and third as Austin Voth trying to get a handle on things here. Fastball, and that thing is ripped to right by Tejeda. It's going to stay in the ballpark.
That is yellow.
It's going to put the Cardinals on top on a long sac fly as Gorman scores.
I mean, he gets the job done right here, but I mean, look, sometimes you just throw it up there, put it up in the air. We've gotten fooled a couple times off the sound of the bat. I thought that ball was way out.
That ball was struck, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. Apologize, Austin, on that one if you heard. But yeah, I thought it was going. But here, right here, look at outfielder gets behind it.
Well,
Casey
balls aren't getting any help in right field tonight from the breeze. It's been blowing right to left all night.
Throwing to the right bases. That's a part of spring training, though, that you like to see, if I'm sure, if you're Davey Martinez, right? Make sure we're throwing the right bases all the time, not trying to play hero on anything. Dan, do you remember what to do when you were at spring training?
It's been a little bit.
Nats looking for a couple. 4-6-3. More on the spring training life of Dan Kolko when we continue. Hey, Dan, take a stretch. It's the middle of the 7th, and that's a good sign as Austin gets the twin killing on the double play ball. Welcome back to Ballpark of the Palm Beaches via Nationals Park in D.C. Bob and Franny, 4-3 Cardinals as we go bottom 7. Nationals have single game tickets to all home games on sale right now. Show some attitude, get your tickets. You know the drill. Nationals.com/tickets. Can't wait to see you at the ballpark. April 7th will be awesome.
Now officially opening day.
Yeah, and hopefully many, many afternoons, evenings, and maybe even a morning on the 4th of July thrown in. Here's Freddie Pacheco for the Cardinals. Freddie is from Guatiré, Venezuela. Signed as an international free agent 5 years ago. Here's a Bayou Bengal for you. LSU Tiger. Andrew Stevenson batting in the number 9 spot. Fastball from Pacheco. Well, Andrew Stevenson, one of the quiet, sneaky, valuable guys on this team last couple of years. Batting average down a little bit last year at 229, but the timing of many of his hits, as usual, were very good. 5 home runs, 23 RBIs. Both of those career highs, and of course, pinch hitter extraordinaire. Such a difficult job.
It is, and especially in spring training, because he's basically doing that right here against 96, 97.
And all he does is put the barrel on the baseball into right field.
No big deal.
Happy New Year, Andrew.
Well, just let the hands fly right here. Stay loose with them. Here it comes, and what we talked about. Anything a little bit elevated right now, especially with these hard throwers, if it's in on your hands, it's going to be a struggle. But outer third, get that barrel to it. Nice job by Andrew. And getting on top of it just enough to make sure it's a line drive and not popped up.
319 as a pinch hitter last year.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
How does he do that?
That's cheating. little late, a little tardy on that one.
Donovan Casey, mentioned this earlier. Part of the deal with the Dodgers, with Josiah Gray, Keibert Ruiz, and Gerardo Carrillo, a right-handed pitcher.
This is a Daniel Murphy face.
So you have a Daniel Murphy bat? We'll see.
Hey, that'd be pretty good. Like later career Daniel Murphy. Donovan Casey. That's a big league name. I like that. It's a big league name.
Good idea of the breaking ball.
Oh, that when you're coming up there, first AB of the night, under the lights, 96, 97 from Pacheco, and then you get the 83 mile an hour, we'll call it slider. That's fun. Got that going for you.
That one was hanging a bit. High in the air, deep left center. How deep? And halfway onto the track. Retreating back to first, Andrew Stevenson.
Yeah, and sometimes, look, in spring training, the decisions that you make as a hitter, that's what impresses the coaching staff. And right here, balance, stays behind it, little slider up in the zone, and he hammers it. You have nothing to show for it. But every eye that is on you is looking at that swing going, okay, chalk that one up to another quality at bat for you. You're going to feel down as his head goes down and he goes back, but
this is infielder Jackson Clough, a Nats 6-rounder 3 years ago. Out of BYU. A little older, he went on his 2-year LDS mission out of high school in Idaho, and then as a sophomore at BYU hit .327 back in 19. He goes down and rips one to center. And in to make a fine play.
Hurst with that. You talk about a great jump right there. Ball down the zone. Jackson Clough does a nice job. We get a side view of that. He goes down with the legs to get this. And should be a hit. Jump right there by Hurst. Perfect all the way in. I mean, we call him a showsman right there, right?
Yeah, went back to grab the drive of Casey in to get that one from Clough. Oh, there's Richard Arena.
Hey, Richard. I haven't met him yet. Blue Jay, right?
26-year-old switch hitting infielder, signed with Toronto 10 years ago. Parts of 4 years with the Jays, 17 through 20. AAA all of last year, hit .272 at Buffalo.
Yeah, hard lineup to crack, huh? Toronto.
Oh my gosh.
And they only had Matt Chapman. Like, hang with them, guys.
Yeah, there are some scary lineups around baseball. Phillies have bolstered theirs. The Dodgers, goodness gracious.
The speed element that the Dodgers have, all up and down the order, plus the hitting, plus the power, that's the part that makes that Dodgers lineup where you're going, that's a scary lineup. Do so many different things. They have great base runners. Philly, you got great hitters that you just got with Castellanos and Schwarber to add in that lineup with Harper, and
yeah, in that.
But they don't have that speed, right? They don't have that element of they can beat you with a single here and there at times. It's just going to have to bash their way through.
Yeah, and there's been talk of Kyle Schwarber leading off in Philly like he did here and was unbelievable until he got hurt.
Was that honestly the run that he had in June, I believe, right? It was June.
Yeah.
Was that the craziest thing you've ever seen as far as a streak from someone?
Being that streaky, yes.
Every day. Not one was a wall scraper either.
He put several new painted seats up in right field.
I think he led off a game against Philly here where he had a foul ball into the third deck. It was like the leadoff game. I was like, oh gosh, it's going to happen again. And everything he touched.
Yeah, this may not be the year of the ERA in the National League East for anybody.
But we were saying that last year too, right?
Maybe the Mets with DeGrom and Scherzer. You know, and Max gave up his share of home runs last year. He seldom has anybody on base.
Yeah, I was about to say.
One up.
The great ones do it with the solo shot. You're fine with that. They dig a little deeper when it's man on base. Because they're not giving in. They're still trying to challenge guys with their. Most of it comes with that heater, right? And,
yeah. Rainey getting under that one. It's a scramble out in left field. And finally grabbed out there.
Panic set in.
By Alec Burleson, who's been in the game. So the fight doctor survives after giving up a leadoff single. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals Baseball Club and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. What a night.
Clouds are moving fast. So is the wind.
So is the water.
Yeah.
Paulo Espino. This guy has just been such a joy to watch for the last season plus.
Because there's actually the art of pitching.
It can be done,
right?
In this day and age.
It can be. Hit your spots, mix up the speeds.
And there have been times when, you know, we take what Paulo does, his body of work, and we throw out the numbers too. Because sometimes his value to the ball club is the innings he uses up.
Yep.
You know, there have been a lot of,
bullets.
even though they've been 7-inning affairs with the ball games,
yep,
which is about to go back, you know, to the dustbin, there have been a number of doubleheaders over the last couple of years. And there have been at least a handful of times when Paulo has come along and rescued the Nats in situations like that when they needed him to eat up innings. He pitched total 110 innings last year.
It's funny you say it like that because he threw 75 innings. No, Paulo Espino, what did he do? He pitched, right? I mean, that's how I would say it. He didn't throw. He pitched. Never going to overpower you. Four-seam fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Mixes to everybody. Changeup mostly to lefties, but the fastball 88 to 90.
Yes. Strong swing by Julio Rodriguez, the Cardinal catcher.
Works quick too. That's the other. I mean, I'm a proponent of the pitch clock because I think, you know, just like in golf, you put some golfers on the clock when they work slow.
Yeah.
Some pitchers need a little bit of a boost. This guy doesn't. Oh.
Pitch clock. What do you think is the what's the magic number to make a pitcher pitch quickly but not totally? I hear about 15 to 20 seconds, and I just don't think that's possible at the major league level.
Well, back in the day, they did it in 2 seconds there, Bob. You know that.
You know, but I was watching some video on Twitter the other day.
Yeah.
It was World Series video from the mid-'60s, and it was Harmon Killebrew batting against Don Drysdale in the Dodgers-Twins World Series. And Drysdale was working fairly quickly, but Harmon Killebrew was stepping out of the box several times. You know, we have this vision of batters never stepping out and just staying in there, and there's a pitch coming every 10 or 12 seconds. It wasn't really that quick. but it was quicker than it is these days. So I'm wondering, Kevin, if you put a clock on pitchers, what's the magic number? Is it 20 seconds? Is it 25? You know, because a lot of guys go beyond 30. That ball was dropped.
Oh, that was on the exchange.
Or was it the exchange? The umpires are saying it's not an out. They don't think that Yasel Antuna had it long enough.
Let's see it right here. He gets behind the ball, one hands it. Oh,
That's
he
a
did
drop.
crank it. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, they got it right. That's a simple drop.
I got it wrong, so I'm good. I have done that before there, Bob. Maybe not so much in spring training, but in a big league ball game, not so much fun. Chances he goes two hands next time.
I was going to say, somewhere in the stands, there's a mom or a dad telling their youngster, that's why you use two hands.
And he did it perfect, too, right before, right? He got behind the baseball, kept his feet moving, and as he's going, he goes up one hand with sideways. That's the other part. I want to turn the fingers up a little bit.
Well, that's unfortunate. 2 on, nobody out.
So I'm going to say that the 17 seconds, I'm going to split it right there, I think is the most ideal.
Now, is
timing.
that the time from when he gets the ball back until he releases the ball, or the time to when he goes into his motion?
He gets the ball back and steps on the rubber. And then he could take the sign.
Okay.
The biggest thing that I have with it, and people don't realize,
ooh, look out over there, Jigno,
is the fact that you could just step off and reset your timing if that's all you need to do. It takes away from the guys, as Jake Knoll going over with playing with the wind right here, and he gets caught up right there by the well, that's the video camera for Hawkeye, isn't it? Yeah, you're gonna lose out on the non-temporary. That's the permanent camera fixture right there. But how many times we watch guys get the ball back, rub it up, walk maybe 1.5 times around what it seems like around the mound, wipe the brow, do all that. Paolo, he does all that really quick, and he's ready to go. To me, it's not about just the speeding up of that part of it. It's about getting in a tempo as an infielder. There are so many times watching these guys flat-footed out there because their guys taking forever.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't help defense. There's no doubt about that.
But they're coming up, you know, your body has, I think it's 22 seconds to reach max, you know, as far as these pitchers and what they're able to do in their rest. So in between, that's why some guys take forever, but we're in a max velocity time, right? And a part of, you know, we think more action on the field. Well, part of that action too has to be seeing infielders moving around, staying in the game and not losing it. On the other side, the flip side, the hitters, too many guys go all the way out to the grass and switch, you know, do their batting gloves. Everyone's Nomar.
Yeah, Nomar Garciaparra was crazy with the batting gloves and all the straps.
But he did it while standing in the box.
And I don't think he even knew what he was doing. It was just, you know, Ryan Zimmerman did a lot of back and forth with his batting gloves. I think, it's like a muscle memory thing. They're not even thinking about what they're doing.
It's the guys that don't rake that they do it. You're like, why are you taking your time?
Oops. Jordan Walker thought he had walkered, but he didn't. He struck out.
Well, great pitch right here by Paolo Espina, down and away, right at the knees. Paralyzes Walker. Working down to up is Chris Herman. But I think Walker had seen a couple pitches prior to the previous hitter and didn't get those. Yeah. He just assumed, I'm the same, maybe a little taller.
Here's Ivan Herrera, who took over for Corey Dickerson at DH.
And for the other thing, going back with the pitch clock, for fans that think that, oh, there doesn't need to be timing, you will lose sight of it really quick. You get used to it. You see guys working. We see minor leaguers coming up to the big leagues. For the first couple of weeks, they're fine. They're normal. They're working in that window that they've been doing in the minor leagues. And then the big leagues happens, and you take your time. kind of catches up to him. But part of that old school feel of the game was the tempo. We don't talk enough about the tempo of the game, keeping infielders engaged, keeping all that. It's not just about the fan engaged. It's about the infielders. Yep. Better play, smoother play.
Well, I think there's a fan element to the whole thing. If you want to attract a younger audience, I mean, you know, there are those of us who watch the game forever, 5 or 6 decades now.
I'm not one.
You know,
of them.
and we appreciate the little nuances that take place. And they're calling some balls and strikes out there in the berm. Well done. Future umpire on the right. He's already ripping the pages.
Yeah, on a ball in the dirt. Jeez.
But if baseball has this goal we keep hearing about of attracting a younger audience, there are times when the game has to be sped up. Those of us old-timers may not want to hear that, but it's absolutely true, and it's absolutely necessary for the growth of this game.
Agreed. But I mean, we always blame the big leagues on all this, right? And the minor leagues obviously has the pitch clock in most locations now. It's how guys are developed, whether it's from little league to high school to college to minor leagues. It is all about that development. How are you teaching them? How are you preparing them?
Espino, high riding fastball, and diving stop over at second.
Oh, great job.
By Young. Runner coming home, and they've got him. Keeping the ball on the infield, selling out for the baseball. And that's a great job by Andrew Young.
And the runner, Rodriguez, I don't know, with 2 outs makes sense. Taking that lead and rounding second. I don't feel he picked up Ron Pop Warner over at third base on this one. But Andrew Young laying out, doing a great job, setting his feet, making sure that Herman sees him, fires a one-hopper.
Never panicked, did he?
No, that's the Chase Utley play against the Rays in the World Series, right? But that was more up the middle. Probably a little bit more on it than the spring training game here.
Herman on the receiving end. Well done. Paulo keeps firing the ball in there. I tell you, when Paulo Espino's in the game, you better be ready defensively because the ball will be in play, and it makes guys pretty good.
I think maybe if that's Francisco Perez today, I'm not saying ever all the time, but today we saw him working a little bit slower. Maybe he doesn't get to that pitch right there, or that ball.
Yeah. You're not on the balls of your feet, are you?
No.
You're on your heels.
Nope. And I feel like you look around the league and you see the best defensive teams out there. And you think, I think of the Braves as with their infield, right? And you think about what we see night in, night out with them. For the most part, they have a pitching staff that it's not working fast, but they work at a good pace. Their tempo is great.
Yeah.
Infielders are engaged.
Fastest pitcher you ever saw. Work rate.
I did play in the game it was Cliff Lee and Mark Burley. And it was
I was going to say Mark Burley.
It was the greatest thing ever. You had no time to think.
I can't remember who both pitchers were, but one year I did a Labor Day game in Toronto. Tim Belcher was one of the pitchers, and it was 1 hour and 53 minutes.
We were same.
Those guys went to work on Labor Day, man.
We family vacation down in L.A. and San Diego. We saw Greg Maddux, Andy Ashby.
Yeah.
And 2 guys that work so fast. Burley was one of those guys that'd be shaking in the middle of his windup too. Right? I don't want that pitch. Yeah, that pitch. Okay, we're going. He was already headed home. But I wonder, like, you look at the defense around him, I wonder what the airs were like behind him.
Big hook by Paulo. So a walk, an error, and a base hit in the inning, and Paulo Espino gives up, guess what? Nothing. So we're going to the bottom of the 8th inning, 4-5-6 for the Nats in a 4-3 game. 4-7-0 St. Louis, 3-8-2 Washington. Want to be up to date on everything going on around baseball, like in-game video, live pitch by pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more. For your Nats and all the teams around baseball, it's the MLB app. Download it now. He might be checking his out right now.
Or stocks.
Connor Thomas from Tifton, Georgia, a 5th rounder for St. Louis just 3 years ago out of the Georgia Institute of Technology, better known as Georgia Tech. He's a rookie, no big league experience. Connor Thomas. Glad I figured that out when I typed him in. He was Thomas Connor. It's spring training.
No.
But it's fascinating. Over the years, we do these spring training games, and then a couple of years later, some guy throws a gem, and you're like, we saw him in West Palm.
Yeah.
Like
2 years
ago.
2
years ago on a Monday night. This is Yasel Antuna for the Nats.
Yeah, we don't
playing
have
left field right now.
Not a lot on Connor Thomas, but opens up a little bit for a left-hander, gets a little two-seam run on it, and then a changeup off of it.
Yasel Antuna is from Paravia, Dominican Republic. Just 22 years of age. And 1 for 2 for the Nats in spring training, but that time a lefty turns over a, as Kevin called it, filthy changeup on him.
There's a lot of arms and you know what going at him right here, and you see the ball flying out first pitch 90 miles an hour, then you get maybe a little takeoff of 86, and then you get the 82 and 83 mile an hour changeups right there that just dance off the plate right there.
Well, we know all about this young man, Adrian Sanchez. One of the just admirable young men you will ever come across in any sport. Adrian's 31 now. Signed with the Nats back in '07 at the age of 16. And nobody knows more about commuting between D.C., Harrisburg, Syracuse, Rochester, you name it, than our buddy Adrian Sanchez, who hit .257 for the Nats in 16 games last year.
I'm interested to see how teams are going to be orchestrating things this year. Five option max that they have.
Yeah.
You know, back it said like 2015 or 16. The number of times a guy reached double digits in the options up and down between the minor leagues and the big leagues was 1. They had 1 guy that did it. And last year, I think it was 12. A lot of guys moving around, obviously manipulating the rosters a little bit here and there.
Right. Andrew Young.
And the human element is taken out.
Andrew's from West Fargo, North Dakota. That's got him in the Rule 5 draft from Arizona. My friend Dick Vitale, and our best to Dick, battling cancer and doing quite well, would call him a member of his all Marco Polo team. He's been all over the world, at least in the U.S., the baseball world. Jamestown, North Dakota College, Neosho Community College in Kansas, Indiana State for a couple of years.
Oh, Larry Bird.
Signed originally, actually, with the Cardinals, 37th round, and then traded to Arizona, part of the Paul Goldschmidt deal after that. Ooh. So the former Sycamore down on strikes, and that's it for the Nats. In the 8th, 4-3 Cardinals with an inning to go in West Palm. Oh, my favorite, the funnel cake. Let all that grease dry off it. Slap on some powdered sugar, and I am good to go. Wow, just swimming in it. Gerardo Carrillo is 23 years of age, from Guadalajara, Mexico.
Did he rent out your place? Tulsa. He's in Tulsa last year.
Double-A of the Dodgers. The Tulsa Drillers. He was 3-2 there. Then the Nats got him. Of course, you know, he was part of that mega deal with the Dodgers. And came over with Keber Ruiz and a couple of others, including Josiah Gray and Donovan Casey. So, you know, that may be a transaction that pays dividends for the Nats for quite a while. Here's Kramer Robertson to hit in the number 3 spot of Nolan Gorman as we go top 9.
Rio only 5'10", 170. But live arm from everybody that's seen him pitch, and I'm excited to see the growth from him too.
looking at some of his strikeout to walk numbers in the minor leagues, not exactly prolific.
No.
He'll strike out his share.
More deception than anything.
But the ratio not that far over 2-1 strikeouts to walks.
Thought that hit him right there. Yeah, I heard double sound. What's amazing to think about is the Dodgers last year give away in that massive mega deal 2 of their number 1 and 2 prospects, and then higher prospects with Carrillo and Casey. Yeah. And they still have the number 1 system in baseball.
It's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous.
What do the Dodgers know that is more than anybody else knows? We know they have the money, they have the resources,
but they also
you still have to scout,
and then
still have to evaluate
and develop them, and that's what they're doing at such a young age. And the guys that come up, yes, they're talented, but the baseball IQs that these guys have.
Pretty good action on the slider.
Think about the one I continue to think about with the Dodgers is that they traded Yordan Alvarez years ago. Could you imagine that guy in that lineup?
Yeah. It's scary. Leadoff walk.
Right there is not what Davey wants to see when you come out of the pen.
So he went to Harrisburg after the trade, 37 innings, 38 strikeouts, but 21 walks. So I mentioned the strikeout to walk numbers, not that great. So obviously he's a young stallion that's got to corral some of this control. You know, and you look at so many young pitchers, they just throw the daylights out of the ball. They have secondary pitches that are nasty. But guys are in the big leagues, or at least challenging for big league jobs now, so much quicker than ever before. And they just don't have the command yet when they get to this level that kids used to have.
Stuff over command is playing. And I feel like the teams that are able to load up the strike zone with good quality pitches, those are the teams that are successful, especially developing these guys.
That's 93 with wicked sideways movement. Tim Bogart, Davey Martinez.
This Luke Baker guy, does he look like he is large?
He is huge.
Because Carrillo is 5'10", 170. Baker's not that. His right leg is.
Well, he's listed 6'4", 270.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that my eyes weren't.
In fact, he's so big, he's out of Houston and Spring, Texas. Yeah, late break on the slider. I don't care how big you are, that thing will neutralize you if he places it well near the outside edge.
Short, quick slider right there.
Yep, a strike for a while, and then it wasn't.
Late depth. That's what you want to see, but again, the part you want to see is the strike. He takes it, it's a strike.
A little higher, but similar on the outside edge, and a big strikeout. And there you have the microcosm over 2 at-bats of a young pitcher trying to make his way in professional baseball.
And I don't know if he overthrew this as a slider or it's just a natural cutter, because this one's 88 miles an hour and it stays on the same plane. No depth to it where it goes down. This one stays same plane, same spot where he started the other one.
And earlier he threw one that went the other way inside to a right-hander at 93. Here's Anderson Tejeda. Sack fly first time. He jacked one in good fashion out to right field.
I knew you were a pro, but you nailed it the first time, Tejeda. I would have totally forgot.
Look, it's our first game together. You don't have to be blowing sunshine at me, okay?
Yeah.
We're in this together.
My ex would have told me the same thing.
You know what? I got to tell you, you had a fantastic partner in Philadelphia.
We call him my ex.
Scott. Yeah, Scott Fransky is one of the neatest guys you'll ever get to know. Voice of the Phillies on radio, and you got to work with Scott. And I just want everybody to know I did hear from Scott today, and
so did I.
And Kevin Franzen was in tatters by the time we got done texting back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's so great to have you, and the fact that you bring some experience broadcasting inside the division, and you played for the Nats. I mean, it's just, you know, we're really glad you're here, Kevin. But you know, you're not going to get a free ride. Whenever me and some of the Phillies guys get together on the phone or texting, look out.
Yeah, I'm looking for the haymakers. That's fine, though. I'm good at dodging things. It's all good.
Yeah.
No, I was lucky.
And you'll be...
Honestly, I was lucky. I won't take anything for granted on that. Working with Scott.
He's awesome.
But there's a thing, right? Like, he mentored me. And so now it's not my first rodeo. I can say that.
There you go.
Which is good. It's different seeing it,
yeah.
Describing something people see.
Free agent signing last November. Tejeda for the Cardinals.
Who was it? Tapia. Remember him?
Raimel Tapia?
Yeah, I called him
Rockies.
tilapia because I told myself all day long not to say tilapia, not to say tilapia. I was panicked about it because I felt like it wasn't trying to be funny, but you see it and and sure enough, he hits a triple. I'm like, tilapia. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing?
That's okay. Yeah, that guy can hit some triples too.
Oh.
If he doesn't hit it right at an outfielder, it's 3 bags. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh,
what do you think of the Rockies signing Chris Bryant a year after they let Nolan Arenado walk? So they paid St. Louis a ton of money to take Arenado's contract. And then they signed Chris Bryant, and a lot of people around baseball, because he was in San Fran with a team that's got a chance, and the Rockies basically are at the bottom of that division.
Obviously, ownership's a part of that, right? But they had the change at the helm with Jeff Bridich, right? He's gone. And when you have new guys in there, it helps, and you wonder if no one would probably be there. Surprise! I'll say that.
That high chopper finds its way through. Easily to third, Robertson. First and third for St. Louis with 1 out.
That's like a daytime spring training game hop that you got right there well over the first baseman's head.
Yeah, that was kind of an August baked infield hop right there.
Yeah, those are not what you were hoping for if you're Carrillo. It's mislocation. It's up in the zone. It's not in, it's away. And you get the reach out over that hard right in front of the home plate. Bounces over Noel's head.
Justin, does he pronounce it Turner? Is there another Justin Turner in the National League? I don't know. He's not on our list.
I'm going to go with Torner.
Torner, okay.
Looks like just a toe.
He's wearing Yadier Molina's number.
Yeah, a little
That's
weird.
why somebody's hollering Yadi at him.
He's got to feel a little awkward.
I mean, that's a number in St. Louis that will never be worn by anybody else, and that's. I mean, I'd give him 104 before I'd put Yadier Molina's number on anybody else's jersey.
And I am hoping that there is family or somebody taking pictures of this right now, being like, "Yeah, I wore 4 too as well."
Yeah, they're going to retire my number in St. Louis next year.
Don't mind the big double flapper.
Yeah, Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright going to have one more go round this year for St. Louis.
What is it that they need? Wainwright and Yachty need 10? 20, something like that, as far as career starts together, most between a starter and catcher.
Yeah, they're right there. Who's ahead of him? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, it makes me think like Cy Young's catcher had to have been that guy, right? Because he made like 20,000 starts in,
he pitched
4 years.
three times a week.
Today, he had triple headers. He was throwing them all.
Adam Wainwright's a guy who really surprised everybody last year how well he pitched.
Yeah.
Well, that's some good action.
Come on.
That was a good-looking pitch, but it's ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
And that's a part of spraying it all over the place, right? Not throwing consistent strikes, and Larry Vanover being a veteran up. I'm not saying he's trying to do that to the young kid right here, but you get used to calling ball 1, ball 2, strike, ball 3. That right there was a heck of a changeup that he threw out of his hand. I thought Herman stuck. Jim Hickey right now is probably telling him, let's calm down. That was a strike. Throw, keep that shoulder in. Nice. Herman, you do a nice job. Tell Larry he missed that call, and we're good.
All right. So who has pitched and caught together more than Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright? Detroit Tigers, Mickey Lolich, Bill Freehan.
Yeah, that was where number 1 was going.
Milwaukee Braves, Warren Spahn, Del Crandall. Red Faber, Ray Schock. Going back a little, but okay, a lot further.
And it's not that far away though, right? They need X amount. It's going to be a 19
more
Great
times.
Number.
I think that'll happen this year.
You hope so.
Late dip on that heater. This number 7 spot's been weird tonight. 2 different hitters have walked 4 times. Sanchez and Rodriguez, the catchers. Sanchez 3 times, and Rodriguez his last time, leading off the 8th. Pitch up, jammed him, and the ball does go foul. The experience of Adrian Sanchez.
Fantastic.
He knew he didn't have a play at home, and even though a catcher's rumbling down first, he might not have had a play over there either. He saw the spin, let it go foul.
And the best part about this from Adrian is he gets around the baseball. He doesn't give up on it totally, right? He's about ready to field it, and then he pulls off. Thought ahead. The baseball IQ right there. That's understanding the situation, knowing that I have to, it's got to be either hard hit at me that I'm going to get it. If it's going to be a slow roller, it's got to be something that's in play, not near the line, not where I'm going to throw it into the back of the runner on third base, Robertson.
0-2. Tried to go front door and it stayed in. And it's probably a good thing it did.
Yeah.
It's not a great 0-2 pitch.
No, that was trying to be that slider cutter off the plate away, and it just spun. And then it took off going the other way. Good job by Herman to catch that.
Oh, that is not a good 1-2 pitch either. Base of the wall. Only reason 2 runs will score instead of 3, they had to wait to see if it got caught. And St. Louis now opens up a 6-3 lead. And the Nats have the bullpen working with Mason Thompson. And we'll see if Gerardo Correa throws another pitch in this inning.
Here's another slider that stays up in the zone. Nothing that's going down, and it's going to end his night. But Antuna not knowing where the wall was right there. Stevenson doing a great job. Runner at first base, to me, that's where the problem is. He basically stayed at the cut of first base. If he's at second base, he has a chance to score.
Well, Davey Martinez wanted a clean ninth out of Carrillo. Now gets him out of there. You don't want to shatter the kid's confidence. And Mason Thompson is on the way. 6-9-0 St. Louis, 3-8-2 Washington. And next up for the Nats, Mason Thompson. A very lively arm. And of course, part of the deal with the Padres. 31 ball games. We know how fast it's going, Kevin. We'll see if Mason can figure out where it's going, because this guy has major big league stuff.
Yeah, a sinker that's 96 average is not fun.
Yeah, that's Blake Trinan-like.
Yes. But the big part of it, as you alluded to, is the fact that it is hard for a guy to go 1-0, 2-0 so often like he has. With that, at some point you kind of raise it and straightens out on you and he gets walloped, or you walk a guy, and that's what's killed him, is the walk.
Three-player deal, Daniel Hudson to the Padres. Thompson's second appearance of the spring, gave up a hit in an inning with a strikeout. 27 games for the Nats. 21 strikeouts, but 14 walks.
That pitch.
That is absolutely big league nasty right there.
It's coming out of his hand. Look, short arm right there, right? It's not a long, elongated arm whip that he has. Almost looks like Mark Pryor a little bit, right? With that short arm, and it darts out. Not the special mechanics like Mark Pryor had, but.
Yeah. Ball came in hard, went out hard. Did the hitter? Yeah, the runner did get the plate. Good slide by Justin Turner. And on the ground ball, it's now 7-4. Infield was in, but the throw from Young was to the first base side.
I'll tell you what, it might be that Andrew Young got caught up on this, but Turner, what a jump by him. Gets a good secondary lead on contact, hard hit ball to still beat it out. Look, to me, that shouldn't even be close, but because of the secondary that he got, the jump that he got, and just a throw off the plate away, he's safe.
Well, on that play, he should have been called Turner, because he was a burner between third and home. I mean, he got, even on target throw that wasn't low in the dirt, might not have gotten him out. We saw him go first to third a moment ago.
And that's a part of the game that we haven't seen a whole lot of late, right? Is that good instincts on third base, guys taking the good secondary lead, being ready to go ground in the foot, or foot in the ground, ground in the foot, yeah. Anyway, you know what I mean. Picking up what I'm laying down.
Sure. I mean, look at the action. He can throw that thing belt high, and it still ends up unhittable.
Now let's look at Justin Turner over at third base. He gets out there, extended lead, and sure enough, right on contact. If it's a contact play, you're seeing ball down, and he saw ball down, and that ball was hammered. Great play by Andrew Young, but again, what happens when you are a little bit passive at second base and the guy's aggressive at third? You rush it. I'm going to go more on the positive side for Turner than it was against Andrew Young right there.
Top of the order, Ivan Herrera. Ooh, that ball blisters just outside. Infield hit last time. Runner to second. There's been a few too many of those tonight. Runner at third stayed.
Yeah, look, these are not good pitches, right? But a lot of them have had glove on them, have had mitt on them.
Wild pitch, it's called.
See that game in between the Guardians and the Rangers today?
Did not.
Yeah, Cowboys playing the Browns, 25-12.
Oh my! How long were they on the air?
They might not have been.
Right side, Jake Knoll to Thompson. So he does retire 2 of the 3 batters he faces. Cardinals pick up a couple, and we go bottom 9. Nats down by 4. St. Louis 3-8-2 Washington. Jake Knoll, Chris Herman, Andrew Stevenson, scheduled hitters. Bottom of the 9th inning. Cardinals are trying to get this thing closed out with a 28-year-old right-hander, Jacob Basiokovic. From Columbus, Ohio, Rule 5 draft. Picked up by the Cardinals a couple of years ago from the Rockies.
Jacob B. I'm going to go with that one. Can't screw that up when you just go do last initial.
Well, let's see what he's got.
Well, he's showing a slider right here on our monitors. So I'm going to go, he has a slider, plus a fastball. So we're going that route.
There's Jake. Swung at the, I think it was the first pitch. Last time up, Nats have only had 1 hit in the last 3 innings. He skied one deep to center. Jake Knoll can flat out hit. 300 at Rochester last year.
Wait, that matters?
17 homers, 69 RBIs.
Bob, we have a short arm right here that comes out firm.
A lot of that going on.
Wow. Little natural cut right there on that pitch, 95. That was a big thing that, you know, for Lucas Giolito, when it helped him out in his career. Shortened up his delivery quite a bit. And that arm stroke for him. Got consistent with it finally. Ooh. It's almost like a catcher's motion, right? Like the way he's throwing, almost like an archer. You think that just takes it straight back.
Yeah. As a hitter, ball gets on you in a hurry like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking for release point, and you really don't have time to find anything, do you?
Nope. Nope. Especially when it's 95, 96. And that one, he's thrown now what looks like 2 cutters. Or maybe he's got around him and yanked him a little bit, but they don't look entirely straight for us. That one did.
Yeah, Jake doesn't get cheated.
Now he's worked. This is where you go top of the, you know, at the Nationals of Jake Knoll. That's where Jacob B has lived right there, because I cannot say his last name, so I'm not going to butcher it. This is where if he throws something off speed down in the zone, it's ugly swings.
Yeah, hard slider there. It appeared. Some cutting action at the end. 1 out. St. Louis, by the way, 2-0. Playing their 3rd game of the spring. The Nats are 1-2 in Game 4. 1 p.m. next Monday. The Nats and the Marlins right here on Masson.
Well, that for the first time out the other day facing the Marlins, you got to face Sandy Alcantara.
High riding fastball. Chris Herman gets under it. Got some carry to it into the corner out there. And Burleson not able to get there in time.
That looked like it was in straight left field and just took off. Interviewed Lane Thomas the day after the opening night of spring training, and asked, the first question was like, welcome back. How is Sandy Alcantara? And it's like, well, it's never really a good thing. Good job by the Marlins locking him up.
Yeah, the Marlins without Derek Jeter at the top of the organization now. Fights off that one into left. And Chris Herman grabs it. Nats are down to their final out. Andrew Stevenson, a knock off the bench last time up. What else is new? There's Henry Blanco. Talked about him earlier. Great experience as a Nats coach.
And him moving from the bullpen out to into the dugout, I wonder how massive that's going to be. That's a different look for him. He's been out in the bullpen for how many years now?
Oh, it's been a bunch. Look at Stevenson go the other way. That's going to be grabbed, though, and the ball game is over at 9:32. So we had 3 hours and 27 minutes of spring baseball tonight. The Nats were out to a lead early and could not hold on, and then the Cardinals had all the momentum late. So Kevin Franzen, first time on the air with us. Nice job, buddy.
Thanks. I'm a loser, though.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, we'll get you off the schneid.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, this is fun. We're talking baseball again.
Hey,
live action.
To quote Ryan Zimmerman after a long winning streak, and the Nats lost one, he said, "I'm pretty sure we weren't going to win every game the rest of the year, and you're not going to lose every one either." Join us next Monday at 1 o'clock. Thanks for watching here on Masson. For Kevin Franzen, Dan Coco, our entire Masson production crew, Bob Carpenter. What the heck? See you later.